Welcome to Season 4 of the Talking Lead AK Korner, proudly presented by Centurion.
Yes, baby. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Marco brought the party, man.
Yeah. My name is Marco Vorobiev, and I like to party.
It's an upside down AK.
All right, let's get this party started then. All right, AK heads. We are back with another episode of the Talking Lead AK Korner. This is your September edition of Season 4. So welcome in. And this is the big Century Arms BFT47 giveaway episode. And for our video audience, you can see that we have our panel of judges assembled. And this is going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Been looking forward to this. I've extended it a couple of months to give everybody an opportunity. Everybody was saying, give me another month, give me some more time. And I pushed it for as long as I could. And I think we've got some good entries now, and we're going to have a good time judging them today. So I will go around and first introduce my distinguished panel of judges. First, we have my co-host of the AK Korner. We have Brian Keeney with Occam Defense. Brian, welcome in.
Wonderful to be here as always, talking about something I love with some really cool people.
Glad you could make it. We know that you are on just scant minutes of sleep, so we appreciate you sacrificing, and please apologize to your family for me stealing you for a couple hours here.
Thanks. Yeah, a couple of us here were at Yeager's send-off, and so I just rolled in this morning quite early, so if I sound a little off, please forgive that.
Oh, that's just normal. That's normal for you.
A little more off than normal. There may be crayons involved.
Yeah. And then joining us for 2 episodes in a row, ladies and gentlemen, we have Professor Paul Markel joining us. Paul?
Hey, how come my thing says guest user?
I guess you need to change it.
No, I typed in my name.
You did?
And I hit join meeting, and it...
I think it's the ATF
what
fucking
with us. What year
were
you born again, Paul?
What year was I born?
Yeah.
1967.
Well, there's the problem.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, yeah, it's me.
There we go. And then also joining us, is this your second time this season, Marco? Or first?
On this kind of format, yep.
Okay.
We had the telephone conversation before that.
I got you. So Marco, and I think you were on our season 3 finale, the big one that we had with everybody. That might have been the last one that you were on, but Marco Vorobiev, ladies and gentlemen. Yay.
Thank you. Nice to be here. I mean, really enjoy it. Enjoyed the last one. Enjoyed the season finale.
Well, you are a crowd favorite from all the responses and feedback I get. So treat for our lead heads.
It's kind of humbling. Thank you very much, whoever's listening and watching.
Absolutely. And then another returning guest. I don't know. This is probably your 4th or 5th, maybe 6th time on, James. James Bialczak with Faktory-47, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what's up, leadheads and fellow Kalash enthusiasts? It's good to be back. I missed a few there that I was supposed to be on, and I apologize profusely, but we'll get her done today.
Like last month?
Like last month.
And the one before that. I've been a bad boy, but it's good to be here.
That's okay. They forgive you for that discount code that you gave them there. That makes up for it. That makes up for it. And then making his second appearance on the Talking Lead AK Korner, we have none other than Klay Owens. Klay, welcome in.
Thanks for having me back. Good to meet a lot of you guys for the first time.
Look at that mic. It lights up when you touch it.
Yeah, it's my mute button.
I got it. So there's our panel of judges. The Century Arms fellows were supposed to join us, but they're out doing events and traveling, and they were going to be driving, and the internet was going to be spotty, so I just told them that unless they had good connections not to call in, because sometimes that makes it a little more difficult. But I think we got it covered, guys. I think we can handle it.
Hey, I'm Adam with Canik USA, here talking about an exciting new addition to the Canik firearms line, the Canik Mete Pro Series. Each Canik Mete model will now feature a Pro version as well as a standard configuration, meaning you get all the amazing features that come with the Mete line, along with some serious upgrades. These upgrades start with an instantly noticeable feature in the new aggressive slide cuts, which not only look cool, but allow for easier manipulation of the firearm. Next is the chrome-plated, fluted 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel. The Pro Series also features tritium front sights and blacked out rear sights. Finally, the world-famous Canik trigger is now a polymer 90-degree design. The first two available versions of the Pro Series will be the Canik Mete SFX and the Canik Mete SFT. But as I mentioned before, there's much more coming soon. Thanks for watching, and you can find out more about the Pro Series and all Canik products at canicarms.com and canikusa.com. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be informed of all the latest Canik news. And as always, stay safe and stay tuned.
So before we get started, Brian had mentioned earlier that we had attended I guess it was a remembrance event, memorial ceremony for James Yeager. As most of our listeners know, especially if you listened to my last episode, I did a tribute to James Yeager in the previous episode, where I kind of went through and took some clips from the interviews that we had done with James over the years and kind of compiled them into one and gave you the opportunity that you could go and listen to the full episodes if you wanted to. But it was in Camden, Tennessee. It was this weekend. And I don't know, hundreds, thousands of people. I don't know, people just kept rolling in. It was a very eye-opening event to see all the lives and people that James has touched over the years and influenced. And it was just a good opportunity for everybody to get together and celebrate the life of James Yeager. Brian was there, James was there. Paul couldn't make it, but he had, he and James were really good, real close friends, and they had some conversations prior to. And I'll let you talk about that, but just kind of want to go around the table here and just do a little your thoughts on James and first time you met him and the influence that he left on you. And we'll go around. We'll start with Brian.
Yeah, so James touched a bunch of lives in a bunch of different ways. And because I'm on the industry side here, I'll talk about that. And Occam Defense, I don't think there's an Occam Defense without James Yeager and Tactical Response. My first product came out of failure of a gun, of an AK at Tactical Response, under some really hard conditions. And that was one of the things that you could really get out of the facility and the organization. There was a very credible real world testing environment, a lot of adverse environmental conditions, high round counts, a lot of sand, a lot of clay. It's really good for breaking stuff, including optics. You break all kinds of things there. And with James, after he saw the first thing I came up with, he's like, that needs to be a company and you need to do more of that. And at the time I was a R&D physicist in the tech industry and had done mostly electronics, but some mechanisms as well, some mechanical stuff. And that really launched a dramatic change and, beneficial improvement in my life. It's been extraordinary to be doing this. And so we owe him a big debt, and there are a ton of companies out there that are, my example is by no means special and by no means the brightest example. Marty Daniel came through Tactical Response early on, but way before Daniel Defense, and had an interaction that led to the founding of Daniel Defense. And so that's just extraordinary. James is responsible for a lot of products, but one of the other things that he was super proud of that I'm going to mention briefly is the popularity of tourniquets. He used to say, that's mine. That's my one for making it cool. And so, and Paul has been right there alongside him with that. And it'd be fun, Paul, for you to, actually, I'm going to shut up about that. You know more about it than I do. And you got that cool story about your own.
Well, actually, I want to say Paul. I want to say Paul for last because he's going to have, the best insight because he was really close with James. So
Good deal. Well, I'll just close up by. Actually, I'm not even going to say that because Marco's story is. I don't have to say what I'm going to say because Marco's going to say it. So,
okay,
yeah.
so we'll go to Marco now.
Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, and kind of missed my cue there. I kind of jumped the gun, but anyway, so before I met James, I knew of him, right? And like I said, it was he was kind of flowing freely through the web, interweb and stuff, and Cosm. And so, and of course, we know that we have to believe everything internet says. And so you kind of build your preconceived idea of what the person is like without ever talking to him or meeting the person, which of course we know is total crack of poop, right? And so I actually met him for the first time at the SHOT Show years ago. And I kind of came over, I introduced myself, and what the first reaction was just as if, I wouldn't say close friends, but definitely people who knew each other kind of met together, and we had a wonderful and very cordial conversation where I immediately realized how professional James was, and how all the nonsense that was spinning around in the internet sphere and stuff was complete and utter bullshit coming from whiners. And James was kind of like a straight shooter and no nonsense kind of guy. I mean, he wouldn't be bothered. In my opinion, that I formed of him was like a consummate professional who doesn't have time for the nonsense. And, he just, what he done and what he did, he shot it straight. And I have to say that industry lost big with James passing. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, we lost a huge asset.
Absolutely. Klay, what about you? You ever have any interactions with Yeager?
Very briefly. I didn't get the privilege to know him as well as some of you gentlemen. I did have the privilege to bump into him and geek out a little bit at SHOT Show a couple times, as a lot of us did. And as you so eloquently put it, not at all what he is perceived to be from a lot of internet people, but one thing I've always respected about him, in a time where not a lot of people were doing very AK specific classes, most classes for the past 2 decades are all very AR specific, especially defensive carbine classes. I don't really know of anyone that was really doing specific, bring your AK, we're going to focus specifically on AK mechanics all day, how to fix it, how to reload it, how to zero it, AK zero, everything about an AK is way different than how you'd run an AR. He was one of the OGs doing that, offering classes specific to that platform. Not a lot of people to this day offer specific classes to the AK platform. And when they do, it's rare. I've always had a ton of respect for him for that, for shining a light on a platform that was very niche back in those days, but now we all freaking love it. We're in the AK renaissance now, and he had a huge hand in that. He was early on telling us that this is a very viable platform, and now let me show you how to use it. I used to watch Tactical Response years ago. I used to sit in my living room and dry fire in my underwear and socks watching those videos back when I was much younger. I'm aging myself here, but I've always had a ton of respect for the guy, and it's a lesser place without him now. But I'm really happy that he was here and we got to, experience him for as long as we did.
Well, and the great thing about it is he will live on forever through the peoples that he's touched, and of course his YouTube video, and the YouTube channel is still out there and available. Paul, you were going to say something.
I was going to say that if James was here and you called it a platform, he would ask you if you were planning on standing on it, because it's a gun, it's not a platform. James hated that term.
Yeah,
and I understand.
And
all the other guys are laughing at
and I would say it, but just to piss him off too.
It's true, and Klay also gave a really great and eloquent summary of, beautifully put, sir.
Absolutely, you know, and he called it. He didn't call it that he was doing a specific AK course. He just called it fighting rifle. He's like, you can bring anything you want to the class, and you know, people started bringing the AKs.
They became default AK classes because all the ARs would break.
Yeah,
that's literally how that went. It wasn't like, seriously, like the contractor classes that were all at, you know, AKs. People showed up. Classes would be half AR, and 2 days in, it would be all AK. And, you know, he had downrange experience in Iraq with the platform. I can say it now, and I won't.
Oh, we should do a drinking game.
Yeah,
I tell you.
that'd be great.
I'm not going to tell you that he willed it to me to slap people who say platform. I wasn't going to tell you that. That's it. That was in his will to me.
I love it.
To carry that on. But anyway, yeah.
Let's go to
Brian.
Let's go to James
Brian,
now.
I wish you would have brought that during the AR versus AK battle that we did. That would have been great to really boost us at the time. But thank you for bringing that now.
You know,
against the AR team is like playing against, you know, special needs monkeys. And so there's a level of charity that we need to give to those very fine folks that are just, you know, downtrodden and low IQ. So I don't hit him over the head with that one.
He's talking to you, Dooley.
Platform thing here, because I actually never heard that before.
What?
Oh yeah.
I haven't. I used that before. He never shut me down. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tough.
That's because he got nice in his old age.
Well, he always used to say
he mellowed in his old age.
One of my favorite James
Yeager
Yeager quotes was that words have meaning. So anytime you said something that just kind of was, you know, beating around the bush, he would just cut you off and say words have meaning and be very direct with it. So I could see the platform thing happening. It just didn't happen to me. Thank God.
So James, give your story.
Okay, so I'll try to keep it quick here, but I have some stuff written down because I put together a whole thing for when we went to Camden. But my first encounter with James was originally over email, and then eventually a couple years later, after we'd been corresponding a bunch about some other stuff, I met him in person, and like many, it was at SHOT Show. So I briefly shook his hand at SHOT Show. Kind of excited to meet him, and he recognized me right away from, you know, doing some YouTube stuff and the emails. And as we started to talk, we got interrupted by kind of an awkward, I think he was a blogger kind of guy. I don't know, but he wanted to ask him some questions, and he just really kind of cut me off. And the question that he led off with was why he doesn't go by the name Jim. And I was kind of giggling thinking about this recently, because I think if we could relive the experience, he would have probably just told the guy, because my name's fucking James. But at the time, I actually kind of took the lead on it, and I didn't realize then how rare this was going to be. But he didn't do any of the talking. It was just me. And I told the guy, I said there were 5 presidents named James. 2 Jameses signed the Declaration of Independence, and 2 Jameses signed the United States Constitution. I said James is an American name. And so right then, Yeager kind of stepped in, turned his back to the guy, cut him out of the little triangle we had formed, and turned to me and just said, "So what are you doing after the show?" And then that was kind of the beginning of our friendship. I ended up going to a bunch of after parties with him. He networked with me with a ton of people, and I mean, that was James. He would open up the world to you if he felt you were a good person or you were kind of cut from the right, you know, part of the cloth. And it was amazing. He was a good man who had a great code of conduct, good integrity. Yeah, he was a straight shooter. He didn't beat around the bush. He didn't mislead you. And, you know, I always say sugarcoating is a form of deceit. He didn't sugarcoat. He was direct, and he gave you your information. He gave you your stuff. And if he believed in you, he opened up everything to you, his network, his family, his home. He would do anything for you at any time. And that's what people that, you know, these goofballs on the internet don't know. They never got the pleasure of finding out, and they cheated themselves that opportunity. So anyways, that was my first time meeting James and the beginning of our friendship. He said what he meant. He meant what he said. He was kind, caring. He was equal. He gave everybody opportunity. And those are just some things that I remember most about him, I guess. And I guess what I really would want to say, because I got this platform and I'm going to take the opportunity, is that James's curriculum lives on. I've trained with a lot of instructors over the years, and most were really, really, really good. But a lot of them will kind of wing it as they go, or they have a loose platform that they follow. James put his stuff in a specific set of writing that each instructor at his school carried, and they follow the same curriculum every time. So every time you go to whatever class, it's virtually the same class. So James is still there. Tactical response is still live. And for people that want to make up for lost time or they missed out on the opportunity, you can still go and you can still be a part of it. You can still join the family and you can enter the world of training today. And it's still very much real. Yeah, we lost a good man, but I think
his legacy will live on, no doubt.
I think his legacy lives on, and he immortalized himself and his methodology, which was important. So
absolutely,
that's what I would want to convey.
I trained for 2 years at Tactical Response. Probably had 18 days of training, and Yeager had never been on site during that time because he was out doing stuff. And the curriculum's there, the cadre's there. He was fun and amazing and added, good spice to a class when he was there. But the core instructor cadre has it wired.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll tell my story, and then we'll let Professor Paul jump in and talk about it. So, we started this podcast, my buddy Zeke and I, about 10 years ago. And within that first year, we had the opportunity to meet James. We both live in the same state, Tennessee, and there are a lot of events and things where we had the opportunity to bump into him and talk to him and meet him. And then around, 5 or 6 months in, he made the video. I'm holding up the finger quotes. I think this was during the Obama administration when they were threatening to executive order all of our Second Amendment rights away, and James made a video, and you can go and listen to our podcast because we talk about it there. I'm not going to go into details here if you don't know what I'm talking about. But we had talked to him about it, and we're like, hey, we'd like to give you the opportunity to tell your side of things, to get it out there, and just kind of clear the air. And he was all for that. He wanted to do it. And I'd never met him before other than, just bumping into him in a couple of things, here and there. So he came into the studio and, like everybody else, like Klay was saying, like Marco was saying, I had this preconceived person in my mind of how he was going to be. And, I was on edge for the first 10, 15 minutes because I didn't want to say the wrong thing to set him off because I thought he might come across the table at me or, something along those lines. But again, he was the most considerate. He wasn't the fly off the handle. He was very calculated in everything that he said and everything that he did. But I think that first episode is episode 16 that we did with James, shows that side of him because it came through during that interview. Very humble and very approachable. So, that was our first time meeting him. We became friends. He opened up, the Camden Mafia to us and made us part of the family. And, 10 years later, still friends, and we're going to miss him. But Paul, again, has probably the deepest relationship of anybody here. So, Paul, talk about your story.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you guys that I had no preconceived notions at all about James when I met him because I knew him back when he still had hair on his head and drank Mountain Dew. And the internet didn't really know him yet. I met James through another mutual friend, a guy. You guys know, how many of you guys know Dave Biggers?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Biggers was putting on an event in West Virginia, and he needed someone to run the range, and he brought James in to be the range master and run the range for a bunch of gun writers. And we didn't have a lot of conversations, but we talked, and one of the things the story that he used to tell, and this is one of these things where it sounds like I'm blowing my own horn, but I have to do it because he's not here to tell it now, was that we had that was back when Dave was working for Excess Sights. And so Dave had brought a whole bunch of different guns. He bought an AR and an AK and handguns and so on and so forth, so we could test out, and shotguns, and so we could all test these different guns out with the excess sights, so we would appreciate them. And after about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most of range time with us running through different guns, what happened was, as what normally happens in writer events. And this is back when people were actually writers, but when we used to like write articles and send them into magazines, and they made them out of dead trees. You guys might have heard of it. They would kill trees and they would make them into this stuff called paper. And then they would put pictures and words on it.
Okay, Methuselah, keep going.
But they used to do that. And so the writers all gathered together, and they were having a school circle, or, you know, they were talking. And I looked at it, I was like, well, there's still lots of ammo left, and we have this range all day. And I went up to James and I said, can we keep shooting? And he's like, yeah, go for it. I said, okay, let's keep shooting. And he would tell that story for years afterwards, how everybody else wanted to talk and how I wanted to shoot. But shortly thereafter, I had a situation where I needed to shoot a 50 BMG Barrett in the dark with a high-powered light on it. I don't know if you know anything about normal ranges. Most ranges frown on you shooting 50 caliber rifles on their range in the daytime, and pretty much none will let you do it at night. And I called James. I said, this is what I have to do. This is what I need to do. And he said, load all your stuff up and come down. And that was my first time at Tactical Response. I loaded up a Barrett, and he was actually hosting a fighting rifle that weekend. And he said, well, I'm doing a fighting rifle, so while you're here, why don't you just jump into the class, and then at night you can, you know, go out and shoot your photos and shoot your gun at night in the dark and so forth. And he, you know, other than meeting in West Virginia, that was the first time we had met, and he opened his range up to me and let me go out on his range and shoot a BMG in the middle of the night, which was kind of nice of him.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
And we became very close friends after that. And he was kind of he was my sounding board when I became a military contractor shortly thereafter, and I would encounter things that I just knew he would appreciate, the ludicrosity, I guess you would say,
the lucrosity
of those things. And I would call him, and I was like, brother, you're not gonna believe what happened today. And he's like, and one time he's like, stop. This is going to be a good story. I'm almost to the shop. I'm going to put you on speaker so Jay can hear too. That's the relationship that we had. And we had that relationship for, you know, not quite 20 years. And even going into the last few weeks of his life when his voice was failing and he wasn't talking on the phone, but we would, you know, send messages back and forth. And I told him, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Who's going to talk me off the ledge when you're gone? And he's like, yeah, I know. But I don't really, I shared with you, Marty, the task that he assigned me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't really want to make that public.
Probably not. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be a good idea just yet.
Yeah. I don't want to make that public just yet. But we had a conversation before he departed, and he kind of gave me one last task to actually I have two tasks to accomplish for him. So those are going to be coming up in the near future, and when they happen, you'll know.
They will be epic, no doubt about it. So very good. So there's kind of our homage. This episode's kind of dedicated to, not kind of, it is dedicated to the memory of James Yeager. And what better way to do that than give away an AK-47. Brian?
Hey, and real quick,
Yeah.
I was talking earlier about tourniquets, and James had a great line that I think you can do all the self-defense law you want, and that's really good to get educated on. Like, you know, whoever you decide is who you want to go to for legal stuff. However, James had one line, and people who don't know him probably would be shocked by this, but he had a line: shoot to save a life, never to take one, and you'll sleep soundly all your days. And he also preached that you would have way more opportunities to be a hero saving a life than taking one. through the use of a tourniquet. And so, Paul, you mind sharing your happy news that I think was so appropriate for that weekend that we were celebrating?
We actually just this last weekend we had another one of our students of the gun use our pocket lifesaver kit to save somebody's life.
Cool.
A woman that got struck by an SUV while she was on a motorcycle, and it effed her up bad. It turned her leg sideways, and it was a woman. Her husband had bought her our kit, and she had it with her, and she put the tourniquet on this woman's leg, and she's in bad shape, but she's alive. And they talked to the woman's daughter, told the savior that she would have died if and everyone else was just standing around, and that's like idiots, and that's something that. They used to talk about it at tactical response. They're like, look, you need to act. Don't wait or think someone else is going to act, because they're not. If you assume someone else is going to act, if you assume someone else is going to help, whatever, it's not. You need to act. People like, someone needs to do something. And the answer is no, you need to do something. And well, actually before that, 2 weeks ago, we had another one of our students who had just graduated. We do a traumatic medical class through Student of the Gun, and he had gone through the class, and less than 2 weeks later, he had to put a tourniquet on a guy's arm whose brachial artery was sticking out.
Jeez.
And he saved his life. And the ER doc said, if that wouldn't have been for the tourniquet, he wouldn't be here. He'd be dead right now.
Yeah, you're going to need that kind of training a lot more than you're going to need firearms training.
Absolutely. And I shared. I was obviously I couldn't share the latest one with James, but I shared the previous one with him, and I said it's a hell of a world that we're in now. How things have changed. And he said, yeah. He said we were teaching people to use tourniquets before the internet gave us permission, and it's absolutely true. James and I, we were the first two. People trainers to adopt the RATS tourniquet. We were both friends with Jeff Kirkham, and Jeff will say, he's like, people wouldn't do it because it was different. It wasn't TCCC approved. Blah 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 blah.
Have one around here somewhere.
Yeah, but the fact is we were way back when. That's another discussion we used to share, was the which random internet asshole said this stupid thing about, oh, you're going to get sued and this and that, and they're going to have to cut their leg off, and if you do, and it's all bull crap. And one of the things that people need to understand is, now it's Gucci, now it's cool. You see all these Instagram models now, they all got their pocket dumps, and they got this, and now it's cool and Gucci
to have the tourniquets.
To have tourniquets,
yeah.
Right? And of course, it's also Gucci to tell people which tourniquet you should use and which one you shouldn't use.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if I should say this or not. So
probably not. If you got to think about it, don't say it. So.
Well,
say it and then write down the time.
All right, we'll write down the time. It's not like this isn't an adult-friendly show. Marty swears way more than me.
No, this is not for kids. So
yeah, so the same
if that's what you're worried about, say it.
The same motherfuckers that were telling me 10 years ago that I'm going to get sued and I shouldn't carry a tourniquet are now the same ones telling me which one I should carry
and which one you shouldn't carry. Yeah,
my feeling is like, bitch, I was here at the beginning.
You're the OG of tourniquets. Shut up.
Yeah, you can take your tourniquet love and.
Hey, Paul, just tell them to shut up when they're talking to you.
Shut up when I'm talking to you. That's right.
But you got to get training. You got to get training to be able to use one. Don't just buy one and then willy-nilly think you're going to automatically know how to use it. So training is key. There's our Yeager stories, ladies and gentlemen. And I know you're chomping at the bits for us to get to this giveaway. So we are giving away a Century Arms BFT47 rifle. Not platform. It's a rifle.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen. Made in America by Century Arms. And I'm going to, since we don't have a representative from Century Arms here, I'm just going to read their little thing about it here. The people asked for it and Century Arms delivered, introducing the all-new BFT-47 AK Rifle. This all-American rifle directly answers the request of the American consumer with the additions to the already dependable platform. Look, they call it a platform. James.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, you can stand on it. It just depends on the circumstance.
That is true. Of a bulged, forged front trunnion, enhanced safety and bolt hold open, an optics rail, cleaning rod, and bayonet lug, all based on a 1.5 millimeter stamped receiver and complemented with a high-quality American maple furniture. This new flagship rifle of Century Arms is truly the culmination of American engineering at its finest. And Paul, you've had the opportunity to shoot it. Klay, have you had any trigger time on the BFT?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You done some of your famous videos?
I haven't done a video on one, but I've shot the piss out of one before.
Okay. All right. And what are your thoughts?
It's an AK. It does AK things. It works very well.
Like that. I love that. That's awesome. And then Paul, you've had quite a bit of trigger time on yours. What's your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, and it's a result of about 10 plus years now of, I can't remember when Century actually came out with their first made in the USA AK, but an interesting story is when they did that, Jacob Herman was working with them.
OJ, we saw him this weekend,
and Jacob took the then new Century made in the USA AK to Tactical Response, and James did a 1,000-round torture test on it, and he gave them a whole lot of feedback, and the improvements that have come from the recent guns, many of the improvements came from that session.
From Jacob Herman bringing it to Tactical Response.
Yeah, brought it to James and said, hey, check this out. And
the Harmster.
So, yeah, that was a big deal, because the truth of the matter is they were, I guess, the first ones were more like hobby guns, if you could use that term, a hobby gun. They weren't really like the plastic forends, like the barrel got super hot and they actually melted. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff. And
back in the day too, the technology wasn't there for the AK, and as the years have progressed and the demand has gone up, and the R&D has gone up, people have started building.
What's really interesting about that is that for bless Century's heart, they were bringing in the washers, and everyone like cried about them. They're like, washer this, and they're like, okay, well, we'll make one in the USA, and they started making USA built ones, and they're like, oh, if you want a good one, you need to get an import. It's like, you motherfuckers are never happy.
Fickle.
You motherfuckers are never happy.
The AK crowd.
Yeah, you really. And then they came out with the made in the USA. What was the model before the
Centurion?
The
C39.
The C.
Yeah, the C39, and of course it didn't have a bayonet lug or a cleaning rod, and people were like, well, that's bullshit.
They dinged it for that, yeah, because it didn't have that. Yeah,
and I appreciate the fact that they put the cleaning rod in there, and the bayonet lug too.
But the fact that they stuck with it, and every time they come out with a new one, they're making improvements. They're improving.
Oh, absolutely.
They're improving.
Absolutely.
It's a new process here in America. These haven't been made in the U.S. before, and up until recently,
kits. All the old guns were built on import kits,
which were made by foreign companies.
Right.
So. The fact that they took all that abuse over these years to come out with, to where they are now with the BFT-47, speaks a lot to their wherewithal and, listening to the customers and delivering. And, that's where we're at now with the BFT-47.
His rental guns, the tactical response, they've gone through a lot of rental guns, especially rental rifles. And for the longest time, all the rental rifles were Wasser 10s. And James said to me, he goes, someone asked him, they said, well, are those guns accurate? And he said, I don't think you know what we do here. Yeah.
All right, so there you go. That's the BFT47. That's what's at stake. And just so you know, everyone who entered this contest is going to win something from Century Arms. So whether it's T-shirts, magazines, I don't have them here to tell me what all they're going to be giving away, but you will be taken care of just to show our appreciation for you taking the time and effort to submit an entry. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up each of the entries, let the judges look at them, judge them, critique them, and then they're going to assign a point value from 1 to 5. And then at the end, whoever has the most points is going to win the BFT47. And in the case of a tie, we will do a random number generator to determine who the winner is. Does that sound good? Does that sound fair?
I don't.
You don't what?
It's someone's going to be mad at you.
Oh, I don't care. There's people mad at me for giving it away, you know? So I even had some smart ass say, "Oh, it wasn't worth my time or effort." Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Venture forth and fornicate yourself.
Some troll, absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen here. You guys tell me, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I did is, and what you were supposed to do was your post, your picture, your video, whatever you did, had to have a Century Arms firearm in the picture, whether it was with you or you did some kind of creative montage or something along those lines. That was the requirement, and it could be any Century Arms firearm. It could even be a Canic. It could be one of their imported Mosin Nagants that they did, or a Wasser. And then what I wanted to see was an implementation of all of our sponsors, maybe in the background somewhere along those lines. So we're going to start it off here with P-Man 301. He was the very first entry, and this is his entry. He's got a picture of a Canic by a flower, and it says, "The seal has been broken. Our first entry." Oh, that's what I said. He says, "Think you can do better? Let's see it. Post by Leadhead P-Man. Car pew and a pretty flower." So there you go. That's his entry right there. So what do you guys critique that? We'll start with Marco.
All right, so
Glasses.
believe it or not, I'm a big fan of Canics. I mean,
Oh, I believe it, man. They're solid pistols. Love them.
it's unbelievable value, first of all. Second of all, once you start shooting it, it's a good, I mean, not good, I would say even better than good shooter. I mean, but the value of it when it comes to the entire package with 4 magazines, 18-round magazines, the holster, the whole 9 yards is just, I mean, they did a good job. It's not a perfect pistol, and I'm sure the followers of the witness, they'll thumb their noses at it, but it's a solid gun, and it's a fun to shoot. It's kind of, I got the big old meaty paws and stuff, and it fits me well. And I had it for ever since they first brought the first models. And so the gun is there. So the gun is good. I mean, it's a newer version, much newer than the one I have. On the creative side, it lacks a little bit. Just to put the gun there next to one little lily.
Kind of seems like he was just trying to mail one in, doesn't it?
Right. So it was a quick snap, no effort. I'm just going to do this.
Is that a 3? I like that. A 3. Okay, so Marco gives it a 3. Let's go to Klay now.
I have to agree with Marco that Canics are awesome. That was the first pistol I ever bought for 3 gun because of the price, SFX. On the other hand, I looked through a lot of the pictures, and effort-wise, A lot of people outdone this gentleman.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm going to have to go a little bit lower and give him a 2.
But I will say this:
Purely for effort.
he was the very first to submit, so he gets.
Well, he certainly wasn't last.
He gets a little bit for initiative. So you just say a 3 or a 2?
I'm gonna give this bad Johnny a 2.
A dose. Okay. Very good. Brian.
Well, I'm a bit of a hippie and a deadhead, and I'm a big gardener. And Professor Paul, what is it that makes the green grass grow?
Blood.
Manure.
Thank you. So, I think I'm going to go 3.5 on this one. The Canik is that I wish that my Glock was as accurate as any Canik I've shot. Sadly, it's not. I still carry a Glock because I'm some kind of cult member or something. But the Caniks are bitching and a terrific value. Great carry gun for somebody just getting started.
And just for sake of ease, we're not going to do half points.
Okay, he gets a 3 because he was
come
first.
on.
3.
You're making Marty's life complex.
It's complex enough keeping up with you yahoos. All right, Paul, let's hear you.
Yeah, Canik's a good gun. I'm going to give it a 2, though, for creativity.
Very good. James.
Well, I was going to do a 3.5, but you jacked that up, so I got to reevaluate here.
No, James, this is easy. I rounded up, you round down, and we both get what we want.
Well, check it out. I really dig the Caniks also, and I agree with everything you guys said. You took the words right out of my mouth. The photo is pretty weak, but it is the first entry, so I'm rounding up to a 4.0.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Good one. All right.
All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he gets a 14 total. All right, next entry is from AKM Archer. And I probably should go to their sites because some of these had multiple pictures. And, of course, the way Instagram is, you can't really share multiple pictures. So let's go to his actual Instagram. He stepped it up a notch.
Oh, yeah.
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 So
He didn't go one notch. He definitely.
He went a whole bunch.
yeah. So he says, tossing my hat in the ring to win the, and you had to use the hashtag TLBFT47. That was a requirement also. Even though Instagram has blocked it, I still wanted you to use it just to give them a big FU. Anyway.
And I can't see that very well on my screen. Does he use the hashtag then? Is that what you're showing?
Yeah, he's got the hashtag and
Okay.
and all.
So he hit all the requirements.
Yeah, and you had to tag all my sponsors, and as long as you tag some of them, I gave you credit anyway. So this is AKM Archer.
Marty, if I remember, you said that the more different sponsors that you put in the photo, the better they do.
Well, I said the more it would please me. It wasn't a requirement.
Everybody is interested in Marty's pleasure. We're so clear on that,
right? So
we've got it straight out.
Because I'm not judging. I'm not judging. So it's up to you. But I said I would like to see as many of our sponsors, in the picture with you as well. I'm going to campaign for people who did that, like AKM Archer, like Aura here. But he's got, I'm seeing Occam Defense back there. He's got a poster. And one of your posters, he's got, has he got one of your rifles back there?
Yeah, that's a 1775 pistol over there.
Yeah, he's got a 1775
He's got it all.
pistol. He's got the dump trays.
Thing. He's got the dump trays.
Faktory-47. He's got a hat. He's got a mug. He's got Defiant munitions, ammunition back there. He's got 2 Century Arms rifles there.
Dude, he's wearing an Ishmash hat and a Cougar T-shirt. Come on, this guy gets a 5 all day.
This is Faktory-47, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it is.
Starting with the name AKM Archer, this guy went to town and he actually spent some time putting something like this together. So the effort is unreal. So
he even color graded the photo.
So that's a 5. Markel gives him a 5. I like that.
It's a 5 all day.
All right. So James is giving him a 5 also. So Klay, what do you think?
This is a 5. My man even got someone to hold a camera. He's got a Draco, which is the favorite gun that I own. He's got Occam in the background. All the stickers down below. I don't know what that is, but he has everyone listed. And my man has the neck beard. fully complete the package. Full-time AK. This guy does not just play an AK guy; he lives.
We'll talk about the antlers. He's even got deer antlers back there.
What would have been the better play was to stand with the antlers directly behind his head.
Him. Yes.
And then I would have given him a 10.
I would like to point out that there's not just deer antlers. This is all in front of a chest freezer, which probably has the rest of the deer.
It's got the heat in it. I love that. So, Brian, what are you giving him?
Oh, he's 5 all day long. I mean, he's 5+. He's got multiple calibers. The chest freezer I was going to call out. He's wearing reasonable tactical pants. Not like some kind of crazy nonsense. He's about that life.
Color coordinates.
What's that?
He color coordinates.
He does, and he took time to light his scene, and he's either doing a filter or really good lighting or both. Well,
he's got a little filter going on there.
He kicked ass, so I think 5 out of 5 all day long.
Paul.
I'm going to go ahead and give him a 4 just to be different.
All right, there we go.
This is only the second picture.
So he gets a 24. That's 10 points better than our first one. So let's go to the next one, the fourth one. And this is Tongue for Twistin'. Tongue for Twistin', ladies and gentlemen. And I got to scan down. Now this one gets a little freaky. I think he might be trying to hide his identity, possibly. And this is him. Let's go to his website. But he's a gun guy. He's been following us for a while. Here's his post. It says, going all in, pen in hand and ready to sign the adoption paperwork. I want to win. At Talking Lead Defiance. He's got all our sponsors. He uses the hashtag and some extra hashtags. So he's got it all going on. So let's start with Klay on this one.
Best caption by far, I might add. Ready to sign the adoption paperwork.
I like it.
Man.
You're torn.
Close. I gotta give him a
well,
4.
let's break it down. Let's break it down. So he's got a Talking Letty in this one. This is from our friends at Dipstick Hydrographics, our Talking Letty. He's got a wallet from Mission First Tactical, an AK Corner wallet. It looks like he's got a Faktory-47 hat there. Is that a Faktory-47 hat, or am I wrong on that?
I'm not sure. I can't really see what's on the picture.
That looks like Dissident Arms.
No, it's a Dissident Arms.
AK company.
Okay. He's got...
the man went on a scavenger hunt and pulled off a really cool photo. I'm going to give him a 4.
He's got an IWI, looks like a competition shooting shirt there, maybe a flag. IWI is one of our sponsors. And then he's got that crazy mask going on, America. And he's got a Canic. He's got his Canic. So that's his firearm that he's got in there. And I like his little Jeep he's got too.
4.
That's kind of cool. So full-blown 4 for...
like, going to a first guy. He's got a Canic, which is already a plus, right? It's a good gun. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
But this guy actually went to town to gather all this stuff, to stage it, and kind of like in compliance with the requirement of this competition. So 4.
A big 4. Okay. Marco gives him a 4. And, I mean, look at his, his trigger discipline there.
Yeah, that too.
How cool is that? All right, Paul, what do you give him?
I like the coffee mug, and I'm going to give him a 4.
Okay, so Paul does a 4. Brian?
There's a lot to like there. That high finger over the trigger is like the sign of somebody who's actually gotten training, and that's like a really big deal. False note for me, there's 5.56 in that picture, so I got to knock it down to a 4.
Don't hold that against him, because that, Mission First Tactical is a sponsor of ours, and they do those custom cool prints on magazines. They don't make AK magazines. They haven't done it until I started doing that.
I understand that, and the magazine in the back is glorious. It doesn't have any rounds in it, which is, it could be used as a bottle opener, which is totally acceptable.
And it's fine.
The one in the front, which is not mission first, as far as I can tell, is the one that I'm speaking of.
Okay, I think that might be a mission first also, but okay.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
I'm holding to my guns with 4, but I think it's an outstanding submission.
all right. I'm just doing my job and campaigning for my peeps here. All right, so 4,
Yes, sir.
James.
So I'm digging the Slipknot mask there. That's kind of a nice touch. Throws a little wrench in things here. But you know what I noticed is obviously somebody had to take this picture. And then I saw the really fancy font in the background that says Grateful on the wall. And that's definitely like a dude doesn't put that on the wall.
Well, he's probably married.
This dude got his woman to take the picture of him with all his toys and trinkets. That's a signs of a good, healthy relationship. I'm giving him a 4.
Nice. All right. So he gets a 20. So next is Arms of Cascadia. And I got to go back to my page. Arms of Cascadia is right here, I do believe. Now you guys are gonna dig this one.
The shovel, yeah.
And he's got, okay, I think he's got a private account.
Ooh.
Or the page may have been, maybe we might have to give him extra points if he got shut down. It looks like Instagram may have shut him down. Okay, I know he had multiple pictures. Let's see if I got, I got him in here. Okay, so good. So we'll start with the first picture here. So he's got a shovel handle buttstock, and he's got a screwdriver charging handle. He's got a U.S. Palm mag, and he is shooting a wasser. So he's got a washer there. So that's his gun. So we'll go to the next one. Here's another picture of it. Digging that wood furniture.
It's he put it on.
Looks like he's got it on backwards. It's probably the only way it would
Let me
fit.
see handguard on there.
Yeah,
I think it's,
they cut up and it's installed. Yeah.
And here's a little video.
SDS, stuff.
Is that charging handle what I think it is?
It
Like a
is.
Stanley screwdriver nub.
Yeah.
It is. But watch. Keep watching the video. Watch what happens. So I think he might just have it glued on there. I'm not sure, but this last one, it flies off.
That's
So-
so appropriate.
So there you go. Arms of Cascadia. We'll start with Brian.
Well, he also has a gold pimpin'
U.S. Palm mag.
U.S. Palm mag on there.
Looks like rattle canned it. Looks like he rattle canned it too. I love that.
You know, I really dig the tribute to Ma Boris, who's the guy that did the first shovel AK, and that's an article that's really worth finding. If you just Google shovel AK MA, like Massachusetts, Boris, like Boris and Natasha. I also really dig the, I think that's, Professor Paul, is that a foul flash hider on there?
I'm not sure whose it is, but yeah.
That's pretty clean.
Looks like an M77 Yugo flash hider.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I trust Clayco over me on that. The set me handguard, really good. I got to give major down points for the black electrical tape in the rear. That should be red, green, and yellow packy tape. So for that reason, I think I'm going with a 4, but that takes a serious amount of dedication to trolling to come up with, and I really salute the effort.
Nice. And I didn't read his caption because a lot of it's in the captions too. So it says, "The shovel folder is in my business, my dudes. It's been a fun project, but I'm certainly not done with it. My wasser has been a friggin' sewing machine the whole time too. It started with a fixed shovel stock inspired by the guy who built an AK from one, which is the guy you're talking about, Brian.
Yep.
From there, my DIY juices began flowing. Now it has an AR buffer tube and folding adapter retrofitted, set me handguards, gold spray painted US palm mag, and a charging handle extension using a screwdriver handle. That last bit falls off in the video. Anyway, I plan on improving on this design, but now feels like the right time to share it with you all. So, kind of cool. Paul.
Scroll down the description. Did he fill in all the tags and hashtags?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, the only thing he did everything. He just wasn't able to squirrel in a whole bunch of your other sponsor type people, but I can't really do it. I can't really.
But he
fault him
did.
For that.
He did several pictures and a video.
I'm gonna go with a 4.
Okay, Paul does a 4. James.
So I was going to knock him down pretty hard for not having all the other stuff, but I definitely respect a do-it-yourselfer and somebody that really likes to mess with the AK platform. So I'm probably going to go 4 here.
So I'm going to clarify, the other stuff wasn't a requirement. So having the other sponsor stuff wasn't a requirement.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, when your competition has it all, it's
that's true.
We got to tip the scale somewhere. But I do respect the complete Khyber Pass special going on here.
Love it.
And anyone that's willing to dabble in the dark arts got to get some points there. So I'm going 4.
Hey, James, let's be clear. The Khyber dudes would be super offended by this, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, okay.
Marco.
Right. Anyways, so there's so much to unpack here. First of all, Wasser 10, all right, so that's a Century's gun and stuff, and it's popular, and a lot of people have it. But and you can pretty much build it into anything you want in the way of install all kinds of Picatinis and whatever, or you can build it into like the Russian clone and stuff with all this red laminate stuff. It's available and it's everywhere. But for this guy, it would be too easy. It would be too above him, I guess, not below, but above him. He went out of the way and put all this odd stuff in this gun.
Yeah.
Which creativity with this gun, I'm not sure for the purpose of the contest, but with the gun, the way that he approached it is just out of this world,
Yeah, I love it. I love what he did.
Yeah, absolutely. You should have in your collection, you should have at least one ugly duckling, so to speak. And if you actually wind up making it so, it's even better. So he gets a solid 4 from me.
Nice. All right, Klay.
I got to be nice to my walking meme lord here. This guy grew up in the bowels of Reddit. He speaks to my inner Somali pirate with this thing. And
I love that.
I got to give this guy a 5. He followed the rules, and it's the Stanley screwdriver extended charging handle that really just hammers this thing. I've never seen anyone do that. I thought I saw it all. I've seen the shovel. I've seen set me handguards. The Stanley hammer takes me back, man. I got to give this bad Johnny a 5.
Went to the toolbox on this one.
And Marty, I've pulled up in the chat, if you want to click on the link, there's a photo of the original gun that inspired this one from Ma Boris.
Okay, let me go there. Just for people who are watching on the video, they can check this out. Oh, look at that. That is something.
See how the gas block is welded on?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Front sight is welded on.
That is awesome.
The receiver is the shovel. The guy pounded the receiver flat. The hammer and sickle there with the flaming vodka is a really nice finishing touch. It's some Stoli. And the rear sight base is welded on as well. And this guy, it's worth reading up on him because he had DIY Glock kits back in the day. He's a very skilled fabricator. He's a TIG guy and he's a tool and die guy. And he used to sell, you could go on this website and order a Marigold or a Snapdragon, and you would just get this pile of sheet metal parts. And then if you found a certain dark corner of YouTube, you could find all the install videos. And he would take a Tokyo Marui airsoft Glock, rip out all the guts and epoxy this in. It was kind of like the original 80% Like before you could get a Polymer 80, there was Ma Boris's stuff, and it was awesome.
Very cool. All right, next one is from, he gets a 21, so he's Arms of Cascadia 21. He's in second so far. Armis Bravus is our next one. If I can get to it here. Armis Bravus. What did he bring us? I believe this is him right here. No, this is him right here. No, is this him? That's my post. Here we go. Yep, this is him right here. So it says, creative post, how about historic? This Wasser was photographed using a Motorola Razr. Call me after 9 when my minutes are free. We all remember our first, and this was the first for many college friends whom I took shooting. Almost 2 decades later, they still remember. I would like to think I converted some to see our side more favorably. As for the Wasser, Close Buddy uses it on his South Texas property to keep safe from bad hombres. And then he's got the tags and he's got the hashtags, everything in there. So nostalgia, historic. This is, you can tell it's an old school photo he took with one of those old phones. So we'll start with Klay on this one.
Story's cool. I like that it's most likely a Wasser 1063 back when they would give you like oil bottles and a bayonet when you bought one, which they don't do anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Man, the story's cool, which bumps it from a 1 up to a 2 in my opinion. Just
Gotcha.
effort-wise, but is a really cool story.
Yeah, it was a good story. Brian.
Kind of the same story as Klay. When I didn't hear the caption, it was a 1. And now the caption was darn good. I think I'll go 3.
Okay. James.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a 3 as well. I think the story kind of definitely is neat, and the picture probably wasn't taken anytime real soon. And also, the man could probably use this new rifle, it seems. But yeah, we'll go 3.
All right, Marco.
Well, again, the creativity level kind of spoils the story behind this awesome gun. So I'm going to have to, just because I'm an old soul, an old man, story strikes the chord with me, so I'm going to go with the 3.
Got a 3. And for those who aren't watching the video, Marco's got cards that he's holding up, number cards. It's awesome.
Which I had to hastily make
Paul.
while we were talking. So
Well, you put the effort in, though, buddy.
One in, so there's nothing else to be said. I'm going to give it a 3.
All right. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He gets 14. All right, moving on to number 7, Guns, Oil, and Dirt. And he's one that I'm going to need to go, or did I get all of his? I think I might have got all of his. Yeah, I got all of his pictures in here, so we'll just do it from here. So let's see. What does he say? Top Gun t-shirt with my Top Gun Wasser 10 and my wife Meg with my cat Charlie. So all references to Top Gun there if you're Top Gun fans. So he's got the big Top Gun inverted, because I was inverted t-shirt on, America. Then his wife's got a picture of her holding the AK there, and then him with his cat. He might be an artist back there too. Look at his little flower pictures back there. So he included the whole family, looks like. And he's got all the tags and hashtags and everything going on there too. So let's start with James.
Yeah, could you scroll back to those pictures again?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the last one. So
yeah, I think I got the gist of it. I'm going 4 for my man because I think he's probably a fire emergency services guy. I think he had creativity there. He tried to tie it all together to his Top Gun theme. But, I mean, if you look at those last 2 pictures, there's a lot of telling stuff in the background. So, thanks for your service, dude.
Nice. Marco.
I like the family angle in this deal. Kind of, it's easy to stage a bunch of guns around you, and we've seen it all kind of and sort of like expected, and then he brings his cat in, and then the wife in, and the wife was holding the gun. So I'm going to give him a 4. And then I like what James said.
Nice.
I'm seconding. I second that.
And his wife looks like she's about 3 feet tall.
It looks like the gun is about the same height. Yeah.
She looks happy too. Like he didn't force her into this.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's like she was damn happy to do it.
Hold this gun or else.
Paul.
Well, I hate cats, and they don't belong in houses. They should be outside killing rodents where they belong. But other than that, I'll go ahead and just give them a 4.
Okay, so Paul gives him a 4. Klay.
I wasn't going to do this at first, but I didn't notice the first responder picture in the background. So that is dope. I want to give this guy a 5, and the reason being the fact that his wife shares this passion. My fiance and I do all of this together. I couldn't imagine my fiance or spouse not being into guns as much as I am. The fact that he included that, that's a couple goals. I really like couples that shoot together. So I think this couple deserves to win a gun so that maybe next time they can both pose with their new guns. So I'm going to give them a 5.
Nice. I like that. Brian.
Well, you were talking earlier about the wife not holding the gun against her will. Scroll to the cat pic.
Cat looks like he's enjoying it too.
I don't even like cats. I would give it a 0 for including a cat, but that cat is definitely not there.
That's an outdoor cat.
Yep. And but because there's actually 4 pieces of first responder stuff there. There's the number 7 ladder company on the chair, and then there's 3 picks. And homeboy is a family guy who loves his wife, and so I'll give a 3 coming up from a -1,000 for including a cat. Fuck cat.
Nice. So
my man don't like his pussy.
Nah.
So he gets a 20. All right. Next one, we go to Brett Badal. Submitting my entry for the Century Arms BFT Rifle contest from Talking Lead. If I am the lucky winner, I will use it in many matches during the year. He and his daughter shoot tons of matches. They RO at a ton of matches. So doing their part in pushing and promoting the AK and competition. We have influenced many friends to buy American-made AKs, including Century Arms. The Vishka rifle in the picture is from John Z., who is a retired Marine that used to call AKs commie junk. And we've all heard that story before. Until Jesse and I started shooting his matches with our AKs. I will let anyone shoot it who wants to try it. I love the features of the BFT, and I drooled over it at SHOT Show and even posted a picture of the booth. I was even rocking my Talking Lead AK Corner shirt from Faktory-47. So here's his first picture. And he looks like he's at a match right there. There's he and his daughter, and I guess that's the guy he's talking about. John Z, maybe. There's his AK Corner t-shirt in that picture. There's a gun porn picture, just the rifle. There he is doubling it. Was that a 12 gauge?
Yeah, that's the IWI gun.
Is that the IWI? So he's got IWI in there. There's his AK Corner shirt. He's got his Vishka. That was him at SHOT Show. He said he took a picture at the SHOT Show. There's the dirt and grime on his gun, showing that he uses it. And that's probably the Marine guy he's talking about there. He goes on, and there's a whole lot more on here. He said, I'm not the greatest with Instagram, so I wasn't able to do some of the things I wanted to do with the post, but I wanted to share a few things. Last weekend, a shooter came up to me at a local match and thanked me for being cool and helping him get started a few years ago when he came to this first match. He said, I spent extra time helping with competitive shooting. This year, my daughter and I have also hosted 2 boys, one from her class and another from her police explorers post. We provided all weapons, gear, and ammo for the day. We made sure they were ready, and both did pretty well for the first match. One of the boys' mom is an anti-gunner, but I was able to speak to her and convince her that it was a good thing for her son to learn some basics about firearms. My daughter and I work over 30 matches each year as range safety officers, including AK Masters. We try to be ambassadors for the shooting sport and make sure everyone is safe and has a good time on our stages. So there you go. This is Brett Badal's post, and we'll start with Paul.
All right. This guy's obviously very enthusiastic.
America.
That furniture on there, that looks like the furniture that Tapco was doing years back. Is you guys with me on that?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
When they were doing the really super cool laminate furniture?
Yeah, they had all sorts of different color schemes and
yeah. So I'll go ahead and give this guy a 5.
Nice. Paul gives him a 5. I mean, he did put a lot of effort into this, and he's got extra sponsors in the background included, and the story. I mean, man, you talk about an ambassador for the 2A community. This family definitely does it. James, what do you think?
That picture that you're on right now, what's that orange thing? Is that like a fake light mag or something?
This right here?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
It's a fake light KP9 mag.
Is it? Oh, that's cool. So I'm I go back to the one earlier about the family. This guy's doing it with his family. I mean, and it's his daughter, right? So
yeah, this is his daughter.
A lot of effort into everything he wrote. He's not tech savvy, but he went out of his way to make sure he got all the stuff in there that he wanted. Series of pictures. He took some time on all those, and then he got the American flag there. He's rocking the T-shirt. I got to give this guy a 5.
Even went to SHOT Show. Nice. Yeah. All right, Klay.
This guy strikes a big chord with me. As a person that I put on my own AK matches and events, this guy goes to things like that. That's huge to me. Shooting competitions is a big part of my life. And people that go out there and get other people into that and get people off the couch, off the internet, off of forums, and into things like this, as he did with this fine gentleman who now owns an AK, is a big deal to me. That's what I try to do all the time. The fact that he's out there doing it, that's exactly why he's bad at Instagram. He's too busy out there shooting and inviting people into this hobby.
It's
an easy 5 for me. He did everything he was supposed to do, and he's the best part of the gun world, in my opinion. People like this that do this kind of thing.
Amen. So there's another 5. Marco.
Well, the pictures are sort of like we've seen them before. Just about everybody's trying to pose with a gun. But I want to go deeper than that. I mean, his story is not just a story of a competition shooter, but an enthusiast. His story is about bringing the youth to the shooting sport. And even that little episode where he's talking to a kid's mom who is anti-gunner and convincing her that the young man needs to know at least the basics of firearm, just as one of the life skills, and able to convince her of that. That's the big one for me. And because, nowadays you look at the kids nowadays, they don't even know how to shake hands anymore. I mean, it's everything to the freaking phone and
no eye contact. Can't look you in the eye when they talk to you.
Right, yeah. And they lacking in development. They really do. I mean, you would think just because they know how to code or something on a computer, it doesn't mean that they ready for the life that's kind of waits them out there. So to me, that's what struck. That's the highlight of this guy's entry, and for that, it's a big 5.
Big fat 5. I love it. Paul, you already did you, didn't we? Brian.
Yeah, you already did me.
Brian.
That's what she said.
I was a little Luke Cool on it earlier because he clearly has enough guns. However, he's so involved in the community, and I have a strong feeling that he does introduce a lot of new shooters, the young shooters, he has the tolerance and charity to still talk to anti-gunners, which I have run out of. I hit my lifetime limit on associating with people like that. And so he's doing the Lord's work, because there are some that are still savable. And so I would lobby. I'm going to give it a 5, and I'm going to lobby that even if he doesn't win, that if Century's going to kick out another gun, I think he would use it to convert more people to our way. And so I'm going 5+ on Mr. Brett.
He got a perfect score, 25. Very nice. And I wanted to show you this. That last picture that he had, that's a shooting stage at one of the matches. Check this out. This is kind of cool. They get on a floating platform.
Yeah, that is cool.
I've never seen anything like that at a match. That's awesome.
Is that not cool?
And Homeboy can move good for a big dude.
He's shooting that 12 gauge.
I like the caveat off Brian's thing there too. Like, this guy didn't just submit his best collection of 5 pictures to tell the story. Like, you just clicked on his main page and you can see a lot more evidence that corroborates his story. It's not bullshit. Like, he's been living the life for a long time.
Oh, he's the real
It's pretty
deal.
Damn real. So
yeah, he and his daughter both.
The 5+ thing is real for me.
Yeah, I wanted to show that more for Clay. Maybe that's something that Kalashbash.
Can you scroll down to Joe Biden BMX too? There's some bonus points.
Right here.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's bonus points right there.
Yeah,
I dig that.
So you guys could go and do that too. I mean, listeners, go follow other listeners on their Instagram. I need to follow back. I thought I was following him. Practice what I preach, don't I? All right, next one. We've got Jerry Black. And this one will probably strike a chord with you guys too. I thought this was a good one. Oh, where's it at? And these are some of the first people when I first had the call to put your entries in. All these people made it the first call. So this is Jerry Black. It says, my daughter just got engaged and they are talking marriage. I am talking lead. They want to spend the rest of the century in each other's arms. I want a new century arms. And then he's got all the hashtags and all the stuff there. And you can see he's got 2 leadies, 2 talking leadies. He's got Defiant Munitions. He's got 1776 United. He's got SEAL 1. He's got a nice SEAL 1 cleaning kit. He's got a Mission First Tactical. He's got U.S. Palm. He's got an ODS 1775. And is that a Jericho or is that what pistol is that? I can't tell what pistol that is. But then he's got his Century rifle there too. That could be a Canic. Maybe that's a Canic.
Yeah, it looks like one.
And of course he's got his Talking Lead hat. Look, he's even got a hat. This is an OG listener right here. That was like within the first year. I haven't done hats since then. Talking Lead hats. He's got one of our original hats. That's at least 10 years old. And it still looks brand new. He's on the beach, so they're on vacation. This isn't in Tennessee. This guy lives in Tennessee. We don't have an ocean in Tennessee, so he took all this stuff on vacation with him. That's pretty cool. So let's start with Brian.
Well, yeah, not only is he one of my customers, but he's risking like a seriously bad time if somebody sees him out there. And I hotel balcony, I really like the chutzpah there. Even though maybe I shouldn't be saying that out loud. There's some Defiant Munitions in there. He's got a sense of humor. I like the firearms around children to keep them in line. All of these things are wonderful. So yeah, he gets a 5.
Yeah, plus his little poem that he did there. My daughter just got engaged and they are talking marriage. I'm talking lead. I love that.
Yeah, no, keeping males, amorous males near your daughter in constant fear of annihilation is high on my list. Good, being a father of 2 daughters, I like where his head's at.
Yeah.
And that raised eyebrow there, it's like he might push him over the edge of the balcony or he might just cap him. And
right.
I dig it.
What's your point?
5 all day long.
Okay.
All day long.
Nice. James.
Yeah, I mean, I like the family element. I really love the poem. I think he's witty. That's good stuff. I see some overdeveloping cumulus clouds in the background, so it looks like they're about to have a bad day anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5.
Nice. And Paul. Is Paul with us?
Paul, Bueller.
Paul. Let's go to Marco.
Well, I first started to hate on him because thinking that because I love Florida and he's probably in Florida right there, and I thought that was his house because with all the guns and stuff. But then when you told me he's from Tennessee and he traveled and he brought all this stuff with him, that immediately reversed the whole thing. And then, like I said, the poem, the family, and I got the 45 and the shovel, and I doubt anybody will miss you type of deal. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and.
Is that a 5?
Give him a 5.
Okay, nice. And we'll go to Klay.
It's a 5. I love that he gave the kid no choice. He's like, you're going to stand there, you're going to do the thing with the ring, and I'm going to take this picture, kid. I don't really want to hear anything else about it. I love that. I've been intimidated by many dads in my younger life, so I feel the stress, man. And I love the idea that he had to find out about this contest maybe right before a vacation and piled everything in the car. I don't know how he pulled this off.
Yeah.
It's everything about it's great.
They definitely didn't fly there.
Yeah.
Did we get Paul back?
Dirty. That's good.
Did we get Paul back? Paul dropped. He lost his connection. All right, so we'll hold off. We'll have to come back and get Paul's vote on this one. I'm sure we'll probably give him a 5.
Well,
all right, let's go to HERCG23. Find it on his page. Oh, he does a lot of posts.
He does a lot of giveaways.
That's kind of a cool picture right there. But that's not.
There it is.
Is this
right
it?
There at the top?
Oh, here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it looks like it's just a single pic. So he says, trying to get in the Talking Lead contest, toss in 2 Centurion rifles, Wasser, AK, and a Setme, a U.S. Palm mag, and a few little fillers. Good luck all. So he wishes everybody good luck. He's got the tags. He's got the hashtag. Little camo background there. He's got a Glock. Got a 1911, looks like. So what do you guys think? Let's start with James.
So I kind of take this back to the some of the pictures at the beginning. It's it didn't have like the creativity, but it is a cool picture, and he kind of put it together almost like a proof mark looking thing there. So I'll give him some props for the picture and the toys he's sharing with us there. Did he tag everybody that he's supposed to? I can't really tell.
Yeah, he's got them all on there.
He did. Okay, so yeah, I'll give him a solid 3.
Okay, so James gives him a 3. Is Paul back? No Paul. All right, Brian.
Well, I like that he's rounded out kind of the best calibers, more or less, of the semi-automatic magazine-fed things. He's got 5.56, 7.62 Russian, 7.62 NATO, 9mm, and what looks like maybe 45. Looks like a 1911 pattern, and I don't know if it's 9 or 45, but let's just say it's 45. I like that. I like that he went through the trouble of a backdrop. The AR, man. Oh, right. We have sponsors that are on the side of Satan, so we gotta deal with that. That's okay. That's okay.
I don't think any of our sponsors are on that AR though.
Oh, okay, great.
That I can tell.
Well,
That's a
Magpul.
That's a Magpul mag, yeah.
I'm gonna go 4.
All right, Brian gives him a 4.
Okay, can somebody just, not to be redundant, can you read his caption?
Absolutely. It just says, trying to get in the Talking Lead contest. Toss in 2 Centurion arm rifles, a Wasser AK, and a Setme, a U.S. Palm mag, and a few little fillers. Good luck all.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
Oh, my turn.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, just kind of like, first of all, I have a soft spot in my heart for Century Arms. I've worked with them for a long time. And, when Steve Kahaya was still there and Jacob was there, and then I'm, in good relationship with Michael and William. And so whenever their guns are in question or their guns on the table, so to speak, so I'm all for it. And this guy obviously has a couple of them. But again, I mean, just laying out the half shelter and putting the guns down. I mean, I'm thinking, 10-year-old kid can do something like that. I mean, it's not a lot of the effort.
Not huge effort, but yeah, he put effort in.
I mean, just the previous entries was, it just blows this one out of the water. So I'm going to go with the solid 3 on this one.
Okay. Got a 3 on that one. And Klay.
I think half of this picture has the right combination of wood and steel. The other half, not so much. And this is a contest for an AK, so if you cover up the AR, picture looks pretty good. So for that, I got to give him a 3, and mainly because the bar has been set so high by some of these other entries.
I get it, yeah.
Caption could have been a bit more creative. He did take some time accumulating everything, but it's a solid 3 in my opinion.
Yeah. And I will, on behalf of some of my listeners, I did extend this like 3 times. So people thought that they were getting it in, probably rushing it in when they actually had more time. But if they listened to the podcast, then they would have known. And I gave him the opportunity to redo them also. Paul, is Paul back yet?
No, you might have to take his place. Otherwise, the couple of the guys, this one and the one before, might be losing, whatever points.
That's true. That's true. We'll give him a little bit more time. So we'll go on. We'll move on to the next one. The next one is Shep Guns, SHEPGUNS, and Shep. So he says, girls got to pick their own faces. Talking Lead, thank you for extending the competition and reminding us to enter. Like I just said, we might need another AK so we don't fight over this one. Yesterday we had a U.S. Palm mag, but Captain America had her thumb in the trigger guard. So he had to retake the picture. I remember he submitted that, and I was like, you might want to retake that photo. But there you go. He's got the hashtags in there. He's got the tags. So he's got his daughters involved with this one. I think this might have been what actually got us banned from the TLB FT47 hashtag with the kids and the guns. So who wants to start off with this one? James.
I'm going to give him a 4 for the family element and the fact that he got you guys' tag band. I think that's great. Yeah. I mean, I like the creativity on the picture with little faces and stuff. So, yeah, let's go 4.
Gotcha. Brian.
Okay, so this is a dude that is a good parent because he cares about his kids a lot. He's getting them into guns, and he also knows that it's a super bad idea to put your kids' faces on the interwebs, especially if, that's like really cool. He's dialed in. And getting banned, love it. If you're an enemy of the state, super. So
welcome to the team.
5 all day, totally. My people.
Nice. Klay.
I think it's a 4, man. He's going to be a good dad, and he's going to have 2 really good daughters when they get older. Good parenting here.
Train.
The bar has been set so high by some of the others. It's the only reason I can't give it a 5.
Yeah.
Solid 4.
Marco.
Well, I'm a sucker for family and right here, he's got little girls. He's starting them off right. I'm going to have to go as high as 4 for this one.
All right, we got a
He's
4.
doing the right thing.
All right, Paul just said he keeps trying to connect, but it won't let him connect. So let me see if maybe I can send him the link again or an invite to get him back, because that's going to screw up our judging. All right, let's see. I think it's probably his dinner time, and he's just using that as an excuse.
Very European of him.
All right, we'll see if that works. We'll keep going, and if he doesn't, then I'll go back and I'll have to step in and judge. So we got everybody but Paul's on that one. So the next one is Old Weird Guy, and
I didn't submit anything.
You didn't?
No.
You could have if you weren't going to be a judge.
Old weird guy.
Yeah, somebody stole his name.
Paul actually submitted something. Paul submitted one.
Let's judge it.
All right.
Not here.
So it's going to be a video. I haven't. I got to share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you can hear the audio, but I'll play it here. So he does a little pre-video thanks here. He says, "I want to give a special thank you and I love you to my parents, Jim and Connie, who are both in their 70s, for trying to figure out the phone camera and help me film this on a miserable hot day in South Alabama." And then his caption says, "I grew up thinking the AK was a stupid gun because it is what the commies used in all those movies. After listening to the Talking Lead AK Corner for a couple of years now, I really want one. I love Centurion Arms products, and if I win, this will be my 4th, but first long gun." So here's his video.
All right. Hey, fellow leadheads. I've got my parents here helping me try and shoot the video for the AK giveaway. I'm going to be shooting my Canik EP9 Elite SC. I love this thing. Got the little Hollow Sun 507K on top. And I was going to shoot at shorter distances, but it just makes it too easy. So we're going to do our best here. I hit about 20% of the time. I'm shooting an 8-inch steel plate out there at 100 yards with some little lipstick colored bullets. And then do the pinch to zoom to zoom in.
Parents trying to work the camera.
Can you kind of see it out there?
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it a go here. Are you on it?
Yeah.
All right, you can swing. Did you stop the video?
I did when you said that. If it's, I think it's
Is there a countdown on top?
1X.
Is there a timer counting on the
So
top?
he's trying to talk
All
his
right,
parents
we're
through how
gonna
to.
get this figured out. Hopefully I can cut that part out. It's my senior citizens' parents helping me out. I'm old myself, so it tells you how old they are in using this technology. It turned out about like I thought it would, 2 out of 10. But using that little 2 MOA dot, no magnification, and you can still, even with my shaky hands, reliably hit it about 20% of the time. 8 inches at 100 yards.
So 8 inches at 100 yards, he hit
And then you can just stop.
like 8 out of 10.
I'm done. I'm not gonna
What's
shoot
funny is his parents trying to work the camera. So there you go, Old Weird Guy. Let's start with Marco.
All right, so I got, again, a lot to unwrap here. First of all, my, big plus is that I spent 10 years in LA myself, so that's Lower Alabama.
Yeah.
And so the guy is in the southern Alabama, so good for him. Another thing is, like, he's got this elderly parents that to help him out with his videos and stuff. That's another thing. But the big minus is he's a pistol guy and doesn't own a rifle, and I'm a rifle guy. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a solid 3 for an effort, and trying to be, stay in the game, so to speak.
All right. Klay.
I agree with Marco. I couldn't have said it better. That's a solid 3.
Solid 3. All right. Brian.
Yeah, ditto. The video is a little bit painful. I understand there were helpers, but like Curtis Alstrom of VSO Gun Channel constantly just lights me on fire when I make videos that are any kind of shaky at all. And I was looking through his eyes in some sense at this video. I love that he's with his parents and doing family stuff, and his shooting is clearly great. So I think a 3 is a good summary.
All right. And then Paul still hasn't joined us. I guess I'm going to have to jump in here and start doing some judging. James.
Yeah, so on this one, I kind of agree too. The video is painful, but I love that he's with his family, so it kind of cancels out a little bit there. He's doing pistol stuff. Looks like he doesn't have a rifle maybe, and so he's trying to do it at what I would say is more of a rifle distance. And I couldn't hear the audio, obviously, so, I mean, maybe he came and said that, like, hey, I need a rifle, so I have to do this.
Well, he says it in his thing I read. He says,
okay.
He says, I love Century Arms products, and if I win, this will be his 4th Century, but his first long gun.
Okay.
So he doesn't have a
I
long gun. He wants one.
He should have done the drills or the shooting at a shorter distance and be like, man, if I get a rifle, maybe I could shoot these other targets. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I like the family element, but the video's a little shaky, and the bar's been set so high, so it's just hard to really give him the upper numbers there. So I'm gonna go a solid 3 also.
Okay. And I guess I'm gonna step in here and judge. I really like this video. It tugged on my heartstrings. To have
had audio.
Well, I had the thing up. Y'all couldn't hear it?
No.
Okay. So, but anyway, through the thing, he's thanking his parents. And he's like, hey, please forgive the shakiness. I got my parents out here helping me. And even in the beginning, it says, I got my 70-year-old parents out here helping me, and whatnot. So, but I thought, the fact that his parents got out there and were willing to help him make this video, shooting 100 yards with the Canic, he was hitting. He got out of at that distance. I thought that was pretty good. I give him a good solid 5. I liked it. Just the whole element of having his elderly parents out there helping him out in the hot heat in Alabama. This was one of our very first video entries as well. So he kind of set the bar for people to start doing videos instead of the, just the still pictures. So I give him a 5. And then I'll go back and do those other 3 after we do the other ones here. So let's move on to number 13. And this is Esoom87. And you're not going to need the audio for this one. He doesn't say anything in it. But let me read the caption before I play the video. It says, for the Talking Lead BFT giveaway, I thought I'd post one of my favorite videos, training with tactical response and using a Century Arms AK. Thanks for the contest, Lefty, Century Arms, and all the sponsors. And then he's got everybody hashtagged and everything there. So let me hit the play. So he's running some drills here. And for those of us who's been there, we know that range. So putting in some work on the range. Oh, a little slip on the mag change.
All right, bad guy is down.
Bad guy is down. So he stops. Checks his surroundings. Tactical reload. Ba-boom. So there you go. This is ESM 87. Marco.
Okay, so all right. Well, it's a video. It's a video of him shooting a sentry gun.
Running some drills. Yeah.
Yeah, some drills. Obviously, it's a very good place. He's in very good hands with tactical response. The big minus for me was that SO9 way of charging the AK after swapping the magazines. You're not a SWAT freaking officer. You make yourself as small as possible when you switch the magazines so you don't stand there like a stupid target. That's my biggest thing about this. So I'm going to give this guy a 3. Sorry.
3 because of the reload there.
Because of the reloading.
Okay.
Technique.
That's fair. That's fair. Klay.
Hey, Marco said it, not me. The only downside to this video, I think, although he's at an awesome place, I don't think the video was made purposely for the giveaway. So because of that, I want to agree with Marco and give him a 3. He's out there doing it, which is awesome. But in the spirit of this being a giveaway, everyone else that had purpose-made content for the giveaway did better. So I got to give it a 3.
Okay. Brian.
I love the snot out of this. So for people not watching it, he's doing a serpentine drill. He's going around a bunch of barrels and learning how to actually move with his gun, and he stayed safe. True to tactical response form, there's a downrange photographer, which I always like. So he's definitely going to be nervous, which is good. He starts that. What happened with him is kind of typical, that they start unwinding under the stress of doing it over and over again. I thought he did great. I love that he trains. At the same time, I tend to agree with Klay that it's, I definitely know who shot the video, and it wasn't for this contest, so I'm going to knock him down a little bit to a 4, but everything other than that, I absolutely adore.
Okay. James.
Yeah, I agree with everybody so far, especially the fact that it wasn't necessarily made for this contest. However, given the circumstances lately or recently with events and stuff, I certainly, it tugs at me with the tactical response thing. And more importantly, I think there's multiple types of gun owners. There's the collectors, and then there's the people that just buy shit and then buy more shit and buy more shit and buy more shit. And then there's the people that enter the training world and their minds are expanded. And so it hits home with the fact that he trains, and for that reason, I'm giving him a 5.
Nice. And I, too, like the video. I like the fact that he did a video. Maybe he didn't do it specifically for this contest, but he's got a Century Arms product, so that shows that even before this, he didn't just go out and get a Century Arms for the giveaway. He had this. He's been using it. That is his... that's his battle rifle right there, because that's what you take to tactical response, is the weapon that you're going to go to battle with, and he's training with it. And, yeah, maybe, he wasn't perfect on his, his reload, but he's learning. He's there training, and he's going to get better. So I give him a 5.
Can I go back?
No, you cannot.
I gotta go back. I missed the train on this thing. Yes, I'm gonna have to bump mine to 4, from 3 to 4, because although it wasn't a purposely made video, but you gotta kind of love the guy for the fact that he's training. It just if it was me, I would train him differently to reload it. But other than that, it's easy to sit in the seat, in the chair, in the soft chair, and critique people who's out there. I'm gonna have to bump it up to 4. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry
okay, Simon.
But you put a different perspective on it for me.
Very good. All right. The next one is from Glawtrue. So let's go to Gallatru's. Is this? Yeah, this is my website. This was a submission right here, but it's just a magazine, and it has to be a firearm. So that's just a U.S. Palm magazine. That's some of the custom ones that we had made. So it doesn't really count. You give it a 2. I think this is Gallatru's right here. Let's see. Yes, entry from Leadhead Gallatru, and he just has a picture of his AK-63D, and that's. Let me go to his page. Maybe there was more than one picture. I think he created this account just to enter this contest too, and which I give kudos for people who did that, because a lot of our listeners don't have social media. They're not on social media. So some of them did create accounts just to enter the giveaway. So I give them points for that. But we'll start with Klay. Let me get back to it. See if I can find it. Here it is.
Underfolders are sick. He's got a real Bakelite, which is even cooler, and we even have a mold number, which means it's a bit more rare than your average Bakelite. That's super sick. At the same time, effort-wise, a little low effort. A lot of cool stuff going on here, though. And it looks like he might be missing a few tags, if I'm not mistaken.
He is missing some sponsor tags. That is correct. Yep.
I'll give him a 3, and I think that's being nice.
That's being generous. That is being generous. We appreciate that. James.
So I actually like the quality of the picture, and I'm with Klay. The Bakelite, it's a nice touch. I don't think we've seen one yet in these posts.
There was one.
I think it might. Was there? Okay. And it might even be the first underfolder, which is cool. When you went to his page, like you said, it looks like he created it for this, so that's neat. And then he followed up with 2 other AK pictures, which weren't the same. One's a spiker, it looked like. So I'd give him some props, but I'm also disappointed in the lack of tags, so I'm going a 3.
Okay. Brian.
Well, as a manufacturer, the scratch that's on the left side, I'm just really tuned in for scratches, because whenever we scratch a gun in-house, we lose like $400 and get to go back, do not pass go, do not collect $200.
The rifle is fine.
Blim.
Yeah, the scratch is fine if there was dirt on that gun. That gun is too clean, and that's a safe scratch, in my humble opinion. I love the Bakelite.
That's exactly what that scratch is. Good eye.
Could be a blim sale too.
Yeah, it could be, but then I would say there's no dirt on that gun. And for me, and I hate underfolders, I'm not marking them down for the underfolder. I'm just not. For every point that Klay gave him, I'm not giving him one for the underfolder, which is fine. Klay can be weird like that. So I'm going to give it a 2, and I'm going to tell him to get that gun dirty and run the heck out of it. And also thank him for the submission, and that Bakelite is sick, and his other guns are sick.
He did tag Century Arms and Talking Lead in the actual photo. I went to his page, so he got a couple of the tags.
I really like all of Brian's logic except for the anti-underfolder thing. We're going to have to fight later.
Yeah, we totally will, and I outweigh you by over 100 pounds. So
how many points did you give him, Brian?
2.
I think I'm going 2. I may have said 3, but 2.
2? Okay.
2,
Sorry,
2.
bro. It's not that I don't like you.
Marco.
Well, I'm going to have to fall in with everybody else. I'm not going to go as long as Brian did, just because of Bakelite. I brought over 12,000 of them in on out of sheer miracle. So at one point,
share the love.
I could have filled the pool with them and then swim in it, But anyway, so everybody likes the Bakelites, and for that reason, I'm just gonna give them 3.
Okay, got a 3 from Marco. So I'm giving him a 3, just for all the reasons there. And he missed some of our sponsor tags too. So let's see, that's 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he gets a 14. All right, next one, number 15. We've got Carolina Reload. I bet this is it. Yeah, here we go. Carolina Reload. Something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. entering to win a new Century BFT47 from the Talking Lead podcast. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Century M70 AB2 IWI Masada Tactical. So he's got a IWI weapon in there, one of our sponsors. And then he's got the Century Arms M70 AB2. He's got the Faktory-47 AK KORNER t-shirt. And it's an underfolder. So, Brian, we'll start with you.
All right. I dig that he's got a Masada in there. I like IWI in general a lot. And that's a sweet-looking gun. I normally loathe Yugo stuff, working on it anyway, but the grenade launcher flip upside on the gas block for whatever reason really revs my engine. He's got some he's trying to take the atrocious ergonomics of the underfolder down a peg with some hand done paracord wrapping and braiding that looks pretty nicely done. So I'm going to go 4 here.
Okay. Klay.
Sorry, Brian. I love Yugo pattern AKs. Love them. And this
Yeah,
was
you're
back
dead
when
dead to me.
this was back when Century was bringing in some really cool Yugo pattern stuff. The AB2s are highly coveted these days. The gas shutoff, as Brian was talking about for the grenade launching sight, the underfolder is super sick. Even has the original actual Serbian foregrip, Serbian set of wood, the bolts in the white, the gun's blued. That's like exactly how you should have a Yugo pattern AK. So I love that. It's a solid 4 for me. It's got the Talking Lead shirt. Looks like he used proper tags. I dig it. It's a 4 for me.
Nice. Marco.
Well, okay, I kind of got to agree with Klay. And, it's funny how the life kind of progresses, and what used to be a cool to collect, it's no longer accessible. And then what we used to thump our noses at now becomes the collectible stuff. And it's kind of the story of this particular gun. He also, it looks like he embraced the spirit of this contest, and actually had a thought and put forth some effort. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a little rhyme in it and a little poem that he's written.
Yeah, he did the something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue.
Which is like great. So for that, for the effort, solid 4.
Solid 4, I like it. Nice. James.
Yeah, so on collector type rifles in the AK niche, the thing that drives me absolutely nuts is when people go and do some sort of Gucci modern day mod on them. There's AK rifles in the world that are fine for that, but on some of these other pieces, you just keep them as original as possible, and he did that here, or at least he's showcasing one like that. So it's always fun to see those. And like you just said, Marco, with the little poem, there's some creativity, put effort into this, and he didn't just lay some stuff out, take a picture. And then he's got the shirt. So I like everything about it. I'm going a 4 on this one as well.
Very good. And I, too, will give him a 4, just for the fact that there have been some better ones. So nothing wrong with this at all. I like what he's done. Love the AK Corner shirt he's got in there. Nice touch. So I give him a 4. So he gets a 4 across the board there. So he's at 20. So next one, number 16, Austin Whalen. Howdy, howdy, Austin. He's in Texas. So I think I'm going to have to go to his, or I may have it here. So this is a transitional one. So you've got to pay attention. So look at the picture here. Then we go to the next one. And then we go to the next one. So he says, I don't have any Century Arms other than some U.S. Palm mags, so I photoshopped me holding the TL BFT47 LOL. It started looking too real, so I had to outline it. Had to get creative. So I never would have known that he photoshopped that in there. had he not done that. So he could have actually got away with doing that, but he shared with us what he did. I like the creativity of this, the concept. So I'm going to give it, and he's got all the Talking Lead shirts. He's got all of them in there. I love that. I'm going to give him a 5. Marco.
Well, again, though he lacks the product, so to speak, but he nailed it out of the ballpark with the creativity, and then he didn't just like you said, he didn't really just show you the picture, but he did admit that he was
he photoshopped it himself.
Yeah,
honesty.
And, that takes it takes some skill and desire, I would say, to get the gun that he wanted. So I'm going to give him 5 for this.
Nice. I like that.
Wait, for those who's watching.
Hold it up. There you go. He's got a 5. James.
Yeah, I like the creativity also, and the slight foreshadow of like what it would look like if I won, kind of thing. And as a graphic design guy, I absolutely know what went into that. It takes a little time and effort, and certainly some knowledge. Like if he doesn't have experience with the program, that's going to take a lot of time. So, yeah, I think he put a lot of effort into this, and I think I'm going to go a solid 4 on this one, and only because there's been some damn good submissions.
All right, Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4 on this one as well for the same reasons as James. I do some Photoshop stuff badly, and
yeah, me too.
He did a great job. I think it's awesome.
I wouldn't have known, other than the fact that he's got his twins there. I mean, obviously that's Photoshopped, but the gun in his hand, I never would have known that was Photoshopped.
Yeah, like if you look at the backdrop and the tracing on like the black shirt on his shoulders there, see how smooth all that is?
Yeah.
That's really hard to get right.
Yeah.
So there's probably a green screen involved in that, and I'm just impressed. So, yep, 4 for me.
Yeah. Very cool. Klay.
This is an easy 5, and I couldn't agree with Brian and James more. I hate outlining things for thumbnails. It is so tedious. It takes so long that I avoid it nowadays. What he had to do to crop himself, the gun, everything, that's extremely tedious work. So the amount of effort that went into this, quite a bit. He had to change shirts 3 times, change gun 3 times, do, who knows, maybe an hour's worth of very tedious photoshopping. It's a 5 for me. And he did all the proper tagging. Everything about this is an ideal entry, in my opinion.
Very good. All right, moving on. Next one, Jason Edgar. Let's go to Jason's. See if we can find it after all my Sturgis. How you like my Cryptek camo there? It's my fishing camo.
Fresh
And so clean.
Idaho company. Very cool.
So it says, Jason Edgar, had to go old school with these old-time Century Arms gems. CAI M44 and a CAI Serbian M2447. My Keltec weapons P32 rocking an Arma laser. That's right, a laser on his Keltec. So if I die before I win, please contact my next of kin. I'm making this post to enter me, man. I want to win. BFT Century. Badass effing trunnion. Exclamation point. So he's got some old school rifles in there, some old Century Arms imports. He's got Faktory-47 Lefty. He's got the Talking Lead classic T-shirt there. Keltec Weapons, one of our sponsors. He's got a hat. He's got the gun. He's got the Seal 1 in there. He's got Red Army Standard Ammo, also part of Century Arms. He was one of the people who got one of our limited edition U.S. Palm mags that Mission First Tactical did up for us, one of the Wolverine ones. Is that a Faktory-47 T-shirt there, James?
Yep.
I got to get one of those Zastava shirts. That is sick.
Oh, they're all sick, man. Have you checked those out? They're awesome. Yeah. So did I miss anything there? I think I got everything. It looks like you got all the tags and hashtags and everything right. So, Klay, what do you think, buddy?
What he lacks in skill taking the photo, looks like it was taken with a potato. He makes up for with ingenuity and every other thing he could have done and collected for this photo. He did all the rules right. I love seeing a Mosin. I think that's the first one of those we've seen.
Yeah.
All of y'all's merch, all of the other sponsors, I think makes up for the poor quality. I got to give him a 5. A lot of effort went into collecting all this stuff and doing all the rules properly.
Nice. And there's a Mission First Tactical dump tray in there, too. Brian.
He clearly put in a lot of time and thought, and it's unique.
Needs
I'm uninspired, and that is all I can. I think just cue the Mr. Mugatu. Like, I feel like I'm on crazy pills. Not so hot right now. I think I give a 3.
Okay. Brian gives him a 3. Let's go to James.
So this kind of reminds me of some of the earlier picks where maybe the pick wasn't so good, but he clearly put time in collecting all those things. He got creative with what he wrote. But what tips the scales for me on this one is that he's got brand loyalty here. He's got a lot of stuff going on in this picture. He's been around a while, and he's been loyal this whole time. I mean, he's got all the things. He didn't just tag all the things. He has all the things. So I'm giving him a 5.
Very good. I like that.
And I want to prove that Brian's on crazy pills.
I didn't know that James could be nice, so that I've learned something tonight.
Marco.
You're never too old to learn, Brian.
Well, so I'm looking at this, and you know what it reminds me of? The quality of the picture, the stuff in it, the 2 old-timer type of weapons in there. It reminds me of Century Arms ad and shotgun news like back circa.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Has that old school look.
So, this guy, he again embraced the spirit of this contest. He was, like James said, he was loyal, and he collected all this stuff, and he pulled it out of his whatever it is that he keeps the stuff in, and put it and laid it all out, and used the potato to take a picture. So for the effort, just the effort to kind of arrange the stuff on the floor of his thing and lay down some kind of camel.
It's like a real tree.
Right. So for that, solid 4 for him.
Nice. And for all the reasons that you guys mentioned, and I think maybe it's an intentional, the look of this picture, to give it that old school look and feel. So I think it's...
now you're putting different dimension on this.
Yeah, so I think it's intentional that he did the picture this way. And the fact, again, brand loyalty, he has been a long-time listener and supporter of the show. And, yeah, I'm going to give him a 5. Love it. All right, next one we've got Flood Munitions. So let's see what Flood's got for us here. Actually, this is Paul's submission. So let's judge Paul's.
Oh man!
So
I actually used it today.
Oh, you did?
Particular quote.
The AP5. So Paul's got a picture of an AP5, and he's got the "Now I have a machine gun." Ho ho ho!
Ho, yeah.
From Die Hard.
Now, do we get to judge Paul here?
We're judging Paul here. He doesn't count, but we're going to judge him.
Okay.
So go, James.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's a little too early for Christmas, so I already got to dock him. He used a red marker instead of red lipstick. But the creativity is up there, and I feel like Paul could probably kick my ass. So. Man, is that a skull on the grip?
That is a skull.
Wow.
He has a skull on the grip.
Yeah, I'm going to 4 on this.
Okay. Very good. Brian.
It's a good picture.
I'm going to 0. Paul gets a 0.
A big 0.
Yeah, I dock him another point for not being here also, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I give him a -1. No, just for not being here. Just for having shitty internet connection. Klay, what do you say?
I got to give him a 0 too because I don't think there's anything wrong. There's 0 wrong with this photo.
I like that.
Wait,
reason.
he didn't tag all the things, did he?
No, well,
Oh, he's out, dude.
not everybody.
I'm
No.
giving him a DQ.
He got the hashtag TLBFT47. So what about you, Marco?
Hammer.
What do you think, Marco?
Well, you got to admit, for all his follies and stuff, that he's not here. He's pretending to have dinner as if he's in Paris at 10 o'clock at night. And, and then he didn't use the lipstick on that gray sweatshirt and stuff. But you got to admit, it's like the coolest gun we've seen so far, maybe. And
it is a cool gun.
I used this quote today with pertaining to DP27, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I sent somebody a picture of it. Oh, actually, video us shooting it and said, now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. But anyway, so I'm going to give him a solid 4.
Okay, so there you go. He gets a -1 overall. All right, next one. This one is from Flood Munitions. And I believe it's this one.
Oh, no.
Let me see. Make sure this is... Yep, Flood Munitions. So, entry by Leadhead Flood Munition. Imports are the best ports, is what he says. And then he's got all the tags, all the hashtags. He's even went and got Akla, some of the friends of the show. So, that's cool. So, actually, I think he's got multiple pictures. Let me go to his actual post. See if we can find it. He's got a lot of... I think this is it. Yeah, so here's picture number 1. There's a little close-up. So describe what we're seeing for the audience here, Marco. For our listening audience, describe it for them.
Oh, okay. So, well, first of all, I would say it's out of all the AK family, I'm a partial to RPKs because they got a lot of bad rap from people who never actually wielded them or been next to them in the dire situation. RPK is a solid gun. I always have a soft spot in my heart for that. Obviously, leaning towards the RPK 74 I'm not going to say platform, but let's say gun. But this is a beautiful representation of RPK with the nice orange laminate stock with the 75 round drum attached to it, just like a doctor prescribed.
Bakelite handle.
Yeah, he also spent some time kind of staging it, throwing everything in. There's some German camo in there. There's a bayonet, the Type 3 bayonet in there. That quite possibly might be Soviet. There's a skull in it. Is it a skull?
That's a skull, yeah. He's got a skull.
What's sticking out of it?
I can't tell what that is.
But
it's a feather.
Oh, it is. It is a feather, yeah. Nice.
Well, so the just old-time presentation without any kind of like the Photoshops or what have you, with the beautiful background. It's just a beautiful picture, I have to say, and a decent gun, better than decent gun. And then is this a Canic?
It's a Masada. He's got a Masada 9mm.
Masada.
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and go with 5 on this one.
Nice. Brian.
This hits me right in the Red Dawn feels, and so I'm going 5 on it.
Nice.
Legit. And he had to work he hauled a bunch of stuff out to a really nice. When I shoot pictures, I hate using a studio if I have to, or a light box. I love using natural settings like this, and Yeah, lots of stacking tyrannical invading force energy with it from a position of altitudinal superiority. So dig it. 5.
Klay.
This is to me, one of the easiest 5s so far. I was looking at these entries before we did this live stream, and this was my favorite entry out of everything that I saw. I've been talking with Flood here recently, found his YouTube channel, super nice guy. From his profile pic, the dude knows how to party. Everything about this, the AES-10B, that Romanian RPK, one of the first guns I ever post-sampled when I got my FFL. It is still to this day my favorite machine gun. I love Romanian RPKs. I love his Chinese SKS and the full stripper clips. The beautiful photo. This guy knows what he's doing. He took time to take these photos. Everything about this is awesome. Easy 5 for me. Very
good. James.
Yeah, so in this one, I mean, you've got the rifle, you got the East German camo, there's an ammo crate, you got a skull, a shamag in there, you got the mags, the pistol. I mean, there's just a lot of details going on, but even the way he staged all the stuff, the photos all have that kind of blurry background feel. So this guy brought like a prime lens or some special camera type setup with him and really set the focal to pinpoint what he wanted you to see. Like, this guy brought photography skills to this. So it wasn't just a matter of like gathering all his goods and going to this location, but it's like way beyond that. I mean, the bayonet, I don't think we've seen a bayonet in here yet. Yeah, he just brought all the things. So yeah, we got to go 5 on this.
All right. James gives him a 5 as well. So that leaves it up to me. I really like it. The photo quality is great. He's got extra sponsors in there with the IWI. I would like to have seen maybe some more sponsor stuff in there. Maybe some Faktory-47. You know, maybe some Red Army standard ammo. I mean, there's room for other things. Maybe some SEAL 1 cleaning in there where others have had that.
You don't know what's in that crate.
I don't know what's in the crate, so he should have showed me. But I like the skull. You know, he's got a skull in there. I love skulls. I'm a big fan of skulls. So I'm torn. You know, I'm thinking like Brian was before, like a 4.5. So
there's no 0.5s.
There's not 5, so I got to give him a 5. I got to go 5.
Man's even got a Davernov chest rig, which is super sick.
Yeah.
Very hard to get.
And that Bakelite right there, if it's the 40 rounder, that's like the holy grail.
All right, next one is from Pew Pew RN. Eric, I think. Is that right? No.
Up. It'd be right after that last one.
Yeah, this is Ryan. Right, I guess I've got them out of order. I'll have to. Oh, maybe his was one that I couldn't share. I think his was a video. Yeah, so let me go to his Pew Pew's actual site. And Brian, you know him. You know Eric. He attended our AK Concepts.
100%. Eric's awesome.
And there he is with James. He's a tactical response alum.
And Jay the Nightmare with 2 T's, Gibson.
There you go. Let's find his entry. I think this is it right here. So he's got some badass music going. Loud as hell. I'm going to turn the music off. So we've got him shooting a AP5, Centurion Arms AP5. He's at a range day somewhere. There's Andrew. There's our AK Concepts class with all the beautiful ODS 1775s. There's a picture of Eric and Lefty. And then there's him with all our other sponsors, Defiant, Faktory-47. There was some, what else was in there? Can I not rewind this thing? I don't know what range day that is. There's some Canics down there. So this is Eric. This is Pew Pew RN. He's got a lot of good things. I like his video. I like the way he put it together. It's the first one he's got. Anybody's got one of me. There's our Mission First Tactical. There's some patches. So he's got a lot of stuff in here. So let's go to judge this. Let's start off with James.
So I like that he had all the sponsor stuff. I like that he took the time to make a video. I mean, a lot of the stuff in the video, like we kind of hit one of the guys earlier because it was content that wasn't made specifically for this, but he kind of put it all together for this.
Yeah, he put it together for this contest. I mean, that right there, I think that
right
part
there,
of it.
That opening shot, I think, is the most important. I mean, the one with your face really brings it down a notch, but we'll kind of overlook that. I like that banana painted mag. That's funny. And
that's real. They sold those. The banana mags, the U.S. Palm.
That's cool. And I like that he trains. So, I give him some points there. So I think I'm going to go a solid 4 on this one.
Okay. So we got a 4 from James. Klay.
I think it's a solid 4 too. The opening clip was definitely purpose made. Would love to have seen some guns on that table. Everything else is definitely recycled. However, a lot of cool Century stuff. The AP5's there. I love seeing Drew. Hung out with him a little bit at SHOT Show.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to have been on with us tonight, but he's out fishing.
Oh, yeah?
In the Outer Banks.
I found out what his favorite crime was at SHOT Show. Maybe we'll talk about that.
Oh, we did. We've talked about that on the show. We gave him hell over that.
Yeah, this is a 4 for me.
All right, Brian.
5 all day long. He's about that life. He's out there. He contributes to the show a lot. He met the criteria. I'm going 5.
Nice. Marco.
Well, if I didn't know better, I'd be looking at kind of like the beginning of the Century Arms TV commercial.
Ah, yeah.
I mean, if somebody sits down and then edits it nicely, adds the music to it, and that's it. They got the TV commercial. And so all the cool guns, this guy is obviously living the life. And I'm going to go with the, a nickel.
Solid 5. Nice. And I, too, will give him a 5 because I think he put a lot of effort in this, and I think the range days that he went to there and shooting those guns were after we did the contest. So I don't think these were held prior to. So he went and took the time to go to these because one of the things that I said is that if you do not own a Century Firearms, go to a local range, go to a range day event, take pictures. If Century Arms there, take pictures, with the people, with the products, and he did that. And I think those events were held after we started this contest. So
okay, so I didn't have that information beforehand, but like on the table, I keep looking at that opening shot. I really like all the merch that's there. Like he's definitely, I said this earlier on another guy where he's been obviously showing some brand loyalty. He's all in, he's doing the thing, but like Klay pointed out, there wasn't much rifle going on there until you get to video clips, which I thought were kind of repurposed. So knowing what you're telling me now, I think I'd up mine to a 5 for that reason.
Okay, so we'll change that to a 5, and that's your prerogative. You can change your vote.
Yeah, I didn't have all the information, so
that's okay. That's okay.
It's your fault.
It's my fault. My bad. All right, now we're back to the Ryan Reisner. Let's go back. So here we go. Father, son photo. Absolutely love it. Love the grin on this kid's face. So let's read his caption. I would love to win the BFT47 so I can give it to my son as a birthday surprise. He shot my Mac 90 on his own a few days before he turned 3 and loved it so much he emptied the magazine. He's always been into loud things, so shooting guns comes naturally to him. Gun safety is important to our whole family, so I would keep it in my safe until he moves out, but we'd be able to go shooting all the time. We borrowed my buddy's Zastava M92 for this picture. I'm holding my Mac 90 with an Occam Defense Merc handguard. Also have SEAL 1 CLP under the hood. Nice. Please vote for me. We would love to have an awesome American-made Century Arms AK in the family. And he's got the tags and the hashtags in there. So let's start with Marco.
Well, I mean, it's like, so I have 2 boys, right? One of them's grown already, and the other one is in college. And so ever since they were little kids, I would take them shooting all the time. And so I'm kind of partial to that, kind of bringing your boy into the lifestyle that you live, and kind of not so much as like being the gun nut per se, you know, in parentheses, but in quotes, more of a like a develop a healthy relationship with the firearm. Just another life skill to teach to a young one, so the life skill that he might use it for hunting or sports or something else, and instead of the unhealthy fascination, and then eventually, you know,
Right.
God forbid, disaster strikes. But anyway, so obviously he doesn't have the Century arms, but he went out of his way to borrow the product that Century brings to the market. So I mean, good effort, good thing, and bringing his kid in the right way. So there we go, 5.
Nice. Marco gives him a 5. James.
Yeah, I hate to keep hammering the family element here, but this one hits a little different too, because it's not like they're all tacked out and doing the whole, you know, tactical Gomer thing. This is a really organic picture of a father-son having a good father-son day. You know, dressed in just everyday clothes, and you can see it in their faces. They obviously are having a blast. I mean, the kid looks like he's having the best day of his life. The booster break on that shorty really hits home. I love that. And then the Merc handguard, nice touch there.
Is he missing a break on that rifle?
On the Merc one, I can't tell.
It looks like he's
it looks
missing.
like it might be a fresh build, unless he had a can on it or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I definitely nice hat tip to Occam there, and he hit all the tags. So yeah, this is good. I'm hitting it with a 5.
Nice. Brian.
Well, I'm going to assume charitably that he installed that himself, because he just kind of looks like somebody that is trying to get after it. Well, also because he's missing a muzzle device. I think that's the threading that we see there, and maybe it was a hand. I don't know if it was a pre-ban or something, but
he says it's a Mac 90, I think.
Yeah.
It's a Mac 90.
There's the Mac 90s with the thumb holes, and then the ones before then, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And the Mac 90s that came in
customs era,
they had a threaded barrel, and so. And I can see some naked steel, I think. I might be imagining it, but I think he probably did our quick and dirty install there. Not that many people do it. It's awesome. But what really, the thing I saw first was the stinking grin on that cute little kid. And he is clearly like, yeah, he's on maximum overload fun. So this gets a 5 for me for sure.
Very good. And Klay?
Easy 5 for me. I was that kid once. My dad taught me everything I know about shooting as a kid, and like someone stated before, it might have been James. When my dad brought me up, it wasn't very. Of course, this is the '90s. There wasn't this overemphasis of just being tactical. It was lever guns, wheel guns, on into carbines, first AK, everything else. My dad bought me my first everything. I've always felt like certain kids that were brought up not around guns and they found guns at a later age, they're the ones that have the most questions and usually tend to be a little unsafe at first. This kid is very fortunate to have a dad like that, as I was. This is a home run for me. This is 5.
All right. So I guess I'm going to be the bad guy here. Sorry, Ryan. This is a great picture. I love the concept, the caption. You know, everything is great, but there are some that are better. That we've had today. But this is definitely great. I appreciate the effort that you put into it. I'm going to give it a 4. All right, let's move on to Mustang Perry. We got 2 more. Mustang Perry. And is this Mustang? This is him. All right, so it says, it is dangerous to go alone. To go alone, take this. My wife told me I need to prepare for our first child due October 16th. Am I doing this right? I have a borrowed TP9 and other sponsors' prizes that I have acquired over the years of listening. And he is one of the original OG listeners too. So let's dissect this picture. He's got Kel-Tec ammo box. He's got Defiant munitions. He's got one of our old stickers, a couple of our old stickers there, Talking Lead stickers. Is that a Canic that he's got there? Yeah, TP9. He said he borrowed a TP9. Is that your hat, Klay?
Yeah, first time I saw some of our merch on there. That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's is it third pin?
Third pin threads.
Third pin threads. There you go. He's got Primary Arms in there, friends of the show. Ken over there at Primary does a lot for the show. Really appreciate him. He's got an optic over here that's Primary Arms. I know he's going to get some ding for some points from Brian for his AR. Looks like he's got a Flatline Fiber Co. sling there too. So another friends of the show. Am I missing anything? You guys see anything? Oh, Red Army Standard ammo.
And the Century Arms diapers in that rig.
Oh, that is diapers. Okay.
Yeah, and then the milk bottles, and there's a bib. And,
there's a bib. Okay.
He's making an old school Legend of Zelda reference there. There's the sword, and then the little pixelated icon on the bib there.
Okay.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. That's, if I remember right, that's like it's been 30 years or something, but I think that's what's going on, and it was legit back in the day. So
I never played Zelda, so I don't know. All right, let's start us off, Brian. What do you give it? New dad.
Yeah, that AR is a friggin' problem. But other than that, I really dig the loadout of diapers and bottles. That's pretty fresh. And the Zelda reference, I've got a whole rant I give on that I won't give now. But for that reason, I'm gonna go. Or that AR is like a 0, but the Legend of Zelda counters it up to a 4.
Gotcha. Marco.
Well, I'm with Brian on this one. It just looks like another staged picture in the shaggy carpet, so to speak. And we've seen several of them like this. However, it does have a little, element of creativity with the diapers and everything, and him expecting his first child. So I'm going to go with Brian and give him a solid 4.
All right.
For the effort and originality.
James.
Yeah, I'm not really docking him for the AR unless that's an angled foregrip on there, because I think that would be gay. But the AR is like, it's a pretty nice setup, so I'm okay with that. He caught a lot of the sponsor stuff in there and had a creative element, but there's just been a lot of much better posts. Boy, gosh. I mean, I dig the hat. I like the third pin hat. That's pretty badass. And like Klay said, that's kind of the first time we've seen that. So
yeah, that was awesome.
That's a nice touch in there, and it actually kind of stands out in the picture, which is cool. But I don't know. I think I'll go a 4 on this as well.
All right.
Just really for the creativity in the hat.
Klay.
I have to agree with all of you. I think there have been better photos. It is super sick, the hat's in there. He's even got our little North Hollywood Ivan sticker next to the Canic pistol, which is super sick. Got the dual beta drum with the A2 dissipator. The AR is that's a negative for me. Pushes it down to a 4. It's almost a 5 though. Got to give it a 4.
So I'm giving it a solid 4, just because he got all the elements in there. I think we gave away 5 of those hats, didn't we, last time you were on? And this is the first one that's shown up in a picture, so I got to give him kudos for doing that. Not even knowing that you're going to be a judge, so that's kind of cool. So I'll give him a solid 4. All right, I do believe this is our last one, and I will do a sweep after this just to make sure. And this is from BHurst87, and it says, BFT47 contest. This entry from Leadhead B. Hurst just made it under the deadline, so he got this one in just in time. CAI family tested and been great so far. Wifey even helped for picture day. Just said it couldn't be outside, but kids had fun making all the letters. Love testing American-made AKs and would be thrilled to try and test the BFT47. Keep up the good work, guys. He's got all the tags, all the hashtags. So the picture that we're looking at, he's taken some firearm elements and he's spelled out Leadhead BFT47, and then over on the right he's got AK Corner, and he's done it with various AK furniture and parts. And then on the table, he's got a plethora of guns there. So describe all the guns that we're seeing there, Marco, Klay, everybody.
Mosin.
Go ahead, Klay.
We got RPK. It looks like another M70 AB2. I'm not sure what the bullpup's made out of. Maybe a Mac 90. Mosin, 2 M92s,
Yep.
and what looks like a Kel-Tec that's folded over. And man, if you don't mind, I'll go first.
Oh, that is a Sub 2000. Yeah, he's got a Kel-Tec Sub 2000. I didn't even
there.
see that. Yeah, he's got the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. But loving the creativity on this one. Yeah, go Klay.
This is an easy 5. My man literally has BFT47 spelled out with AK pistons, trigger guards, bolts, cleaning kits, and a recoil rod. I see a dong in there. Looks like we got a very rare Romanian.
It's like several
polymer
dongs.
dong from an Ames. I got Hungarian pistol grips. It's way too much to unpack here. Easy 5. The amount of effort and the fact that he had to clean all that up afterwards, that's a 5.
And we got a bayonet in there
Yeah, a lot.
on
Very
the bullpup. I mean, the first bullpup we've seen. Brian, that's probably going to get docked by Brian. But Brian, what's your?
I'm ashamed to say that I'm building a bullpup for Nils Grevelius right now.
Who was supposed to have been on here judging with us?
Yeah, he hooked me when we were slow, like a long time ago, and the thing, he wants it done even worse than I do, and so we're trying to get it out, but it's been a nightmare. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna get a little snobby here and play some other people's roles. The staging of the shot is suboptimal, and there are other shooters. No. Check it out. He took some butcher paper, which is cool. I get that. That's great. But the butcher paper doesn't fill the frame. And we've got the curtain in the back and then the one leg of the chair. And I understand the struggle is real because I've done a lot of, jacked up shit like this. And I do this for a living. However, when we got those dudes that are hiking to the top of some hill to stage the shot, I could set this out and clean it up in under an hour. And between the Photoshop guy and the dude on the top of the mountain, guaranteed longer setup time. So and this is one of my favorite shots. So I don't want to make it out like I'm hating on the guy. I thought this was really clever and awesome, but I'm going with a 4 on this one.
Could have been raining outside.
Yeah, and he could have set out 2 more sheets of butcher paper. But I know what happened because I've done this. He doesn't photograph a lot of stuff, and he was not thinking about the aspect ratio. And so see how all the parts are on the paper, but when you go to photo them, it ain't gonna work. So if he had done the work to get it like really nicely staged, I think it'd be a 5 for me because you could almost make a poster out of this.
I think he even moved the kitchen, or not the kitchen, but the dining room table. That was like the dining room. He moved the table and furniture out and everything. So I think he put a little more effort.
I'm a hater. I'm gonna go 4.
All right.
Sorry, sir.
James, I tried, Hurst. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, here's the thing. I appreciate. Now I don't know if this guy is a mastermind or if this was by accident, but if you sit back and look at this picture, it looks like those little rugs that were like in Iraq and stuff. At the flea markets.
That's right.
I thought the same thing when I first saw it. I thought it was a war rug.
So war rug. So like that hits home for me. I really love the war rug look. And you know what? When you take a picture of your war rug, how do you take it? With part of the floor and the curtain and all this this is straight Kyber Pass Packy shit right here. I love it. I love it. I don't care what Brian says, and I don't care if this guy was like meant to do it or if it was an accident. The only thing I don't like is where's all the sponsor stuff, like the little merch stuff, where's the third pin ad on this one? I don't see it, but damn, it's a war rug, dude. Like that's straight up I'm giving it a 5 just to piss Brian off.
Nice. Klay.
Oh, I think I already gave it a 5.
Oh, is that okay, Marco?
All right. So when I first when you were going through all the pictures and stuff on your web page there, and I saw that kind of slide by and fly by, I thought it was like, that's kind of stupid shit. You know, somebody just put together all the collection together. But then when it's actually, you look closely and there's so much going on in here. Here's what you would call an AK guy, period. And the reason for that is not because of all these rare parts that he accumulated. And I'm pretty sure there's like a couple more crates or maybe several crates of parts that he didn't put in here. But to spell out stuff using AK parts. But I'm also looking at some gems in here. Okay?
Yeah.
So you got the 40 Bakelite 40 magazine. You got on the background that, I don't know what that's, some kind of PAP or AM70 or something gun. It's got the aluminum magazine in there. Wonderful motion again, and of course the RPK. The only, I'm sorry with the hands and stuff in the camera, but the only huge, deduct out of this whole deal would be the bullpup. And another asinine idea to put the bayonet on the bullpup. I mean, you're going to smell that guy's breath when you stab him. But in any case, it's a solid 5 for me.
All right.
I didn't even notice that he spelled out AK Corner until just now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
Very
one of the
cool.
first things I said. Is he even spelled out AK Corner. It's pretty sweet. I love it. He's got lead head in there. He's got BFT47. He's got the AK Corner, and it's all done with AK-47 parts. He's got the Sub 2000 in there from Kel-Tec, one of my all-time favorite firearms. Absolutely love that. And I don't care what y'all say. I love bullpups. So I like the fact that he's got an AK bullpup in there. But again, there have been some better posts. And just for that fact alone, I'm going to give him a 4. So now the ones that I got to go back to in looking at them, even if I gave them a 5, they wouldn't get up to our top scores. We have 3 at 25. 3 posts at 25. And let me just make sure. I'll go through here again and look.
Hey, Marty, what about just voting one more time on the 3 that are there?
Well,
rather than doing it random.
Okay, we can do that. And Jerry's, I need to vote on Jerry's because Jerry's was one of those that Paul didn't vote on, and I'll give him a 5. So that puts him at 25. So Brett B has 25, Jerry Black has 25, and Flood Munitions has 25. So let's go to those 3. And we'll start off with, I'll just go back in back order here. So Flood Munitions will be first. Did I pass it?
Right there.
So
it was the 2 girls with the faces, right?
No, Flood Munitions was the guy who had the RPK outside with the skulls.
Oh, that's towards the top. Yeah, right
here.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
So let's go to his because I didn't have all his pictures. So here's Flood Munitions. All right. So we're not going to vote yet. I just want you guys to look at them again. I'm going to show you all of them. So he's got the good quality camera, taking the good pictures. He's got the RPK, the bayonet. He's got the Masada. He's got the nice, cool outdoor look going there. Weather cooperated with him. So that's Flood's. So now let's go to Jerry Black's. And he was the one when he was at the beach.
Oh, yeah. With the daughter.
With the daughter getting engaged.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah. My daughter just got engaged, and they are talking marriage. I am talking lead. They want to spend the rest of the century in each other's arms. I want a new Century arms. And he's got it all in here. He's got Seal 1. He's got Mission First. He's got U.S. Palm. He's got looks like a I think that's a Century or a Canic. I think he's got a Canic in there. Defiant Munitions. He's got the Occam. So, and again, he's on vacation. All right, so that's Jerry. And then Brett Badal. Here's Brett's. And I'm not going to read all his again, but I think we all remember he and his daughter, they're ROs, they're teaching and preaching the 2A life, teaching what they preach, so to speak. Here's the pictures, and he's got the IWI shotgun. He went to SHOT Show, took some pictures.
I don't give him any credit for the SHOT Show one just because that's so hard for people. You got to have a hookup for that. I think it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't want our listeners to feel like only somebody with a hookup can win this thing. But the rest of it is so impressive it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In my mind.
But the fact that he went to SHOT Show and he went by Century Arms and he, took the pictures.
Yeah, totally.
And again, that was something that I said, if you didn't have a Century Arms, that, go to an event, go to a range day, shooting event, go to your local gun store, beg, borrow, don't steal. But, whatever you had to do to get a picture. But of course, obviously, he didn't even need to do that. He didn't even need to include that in this. Because
that's what I mean.
He's got all the stuff.
Standard elsewhere.
Is that a Faktory-47 t-shirt, James?
Yes. Yeah, it is. That's the Ishmash one.
You've got green shirts? I want a green shirt.
Yeah.
I want something other than black.
You should have told me that this morning.
I didn't know you had green ones. I didn't know they came in green. So there you go.
It might not be too late.
So there you go. Do you guys need to see them again? Do you need me to bring them up again?
No.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to silently, I'm gonna bring each one up, and then just tell me what your vote is on it.
I wrote down the name of the guy, if you just want to go that way.
Okay, so what did you give Jerry Black?
Now, who's Jerry Black again?
He was the Florida picture.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Black, the daughter that was getting married. So
all these guys have perfect scores, right? So if we vote again, it's the same. I think it works if we just do one man, one vote.
What about if we just do 1, 2, 3? Who's the first, who's the second, who's the third?
Okay.
Sure.
So you guys put them in order. Put them in.
We'll put 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 finger.
All right, let me write on there. So we got Jerry, we got Brett, and we got Flood Munitions. All right, so what did you rank each one, Marco?
So I'd say the guy with the daughter being my number one.
Well, there's 2 people had daughters. Brett had a daughter.
I mean, the young one, the competition shooters.
Okay, Brett Badal.
Then the beach guy with the daughter too, and then RPK 3. Okay. Meaning like first place, second place, third place.
Okay. And Klay.
My third place would be Jerry at the beach.
Okay.
My all-time favorite post, and my second place is Flood Munitions. I still think that is the most beautiful post so far. But Brett, his story, he has your merch, all the rules, everything he's doing for the community. I think he's my number one.
Nice. Brian.
Third place, Jerry, not because I don't love it, but kind of the same rationale as Klay. 2, I thought Flood Munitions was the best composed photograph, but again, same story. Brett Badal has the best overall.
All right. And James.
Number 3, I have Flood Munitions with the RPK. I think the quality was there and the creativity was great, but again, just better post, tough competition. Number 2, I have Jerry at the beach. I love the family element, loved the creativity, and he put in some work for that. But Brett Vidal, they're in the training world. They're expanding the positive side of this industry and this stuff. And what they're doing for us is actually helping preserve our rights and bringing in the next wave of people. And they're doing it responsibly. They also hit all the marks, and the creativity was there. So, just tough competition. So I got Brett Vidal number 1.
There you go. So it doesn't matter how I vote, but Brett number 1, Jerry number 2, Flood number 3 is how I've got it scored. So our winner of the Century Arms BFT47 is Brett Vidal. Congratulations, Brett. Yay!
Yay!
Good job.
What you're doing.
I think he really encompassed the whole what's the word I'm looking for of the competition, the vibe.
Spirit of the competition.
Say it.
Spirit.
Yeah, the spirit, the vibe, kind of what we were trying to capture with this giveaway. So, and again, I only made this available to our listeners. I did not open this up to outside channels like I do a lot of our giveaways. So, this was a great opportunity for you listeners to get involved. Your chances of winning were great. You see, we had less than 25 entries on this, so. You missed out if you didn't take part. But congratulations to everyone. Everybody's going to win something. And I think for our second and third place guys, in addition to whatever Century's going to put up, I'm also going to give you some stuff from Seal 1 and from Mission First Tactical. So you're going to get some dump trays. You're going to get some Seal 1 cleaning products, and we'll get some other stuff to you too. But everyone who took part and participated, email me, talkingled@gmail.com, and let me know that you entered. I need your mailing addresses, shirt sizes, things like that, in case they want to give you some shirts. And then, of course, Brett, I will put you in touch with Century, and they'll get your FFL info and take care of all that. So... big thanks to our judges for taking the time to do this. Wow, it took a little longer than I thought, especially when we did the opener with James. But I really think that that needed to be done, and I appreciate everybody sharing their stories about Yeager. And sorry, Paul dropped off. I know he is too. He's sick to death about it, but we'll have Paul back on again sometime soon
When he's done with dinner.
We'll try not to do it during his dinner time. I think it happened last time too. He had to drop off early because
he's like a third baguette or something.
Because Mama was calling him to dinner. So, guys, real quick, let's go around the horn and tell everybody what you got going on and coming up. Klay, we got Kalashbash coming up in Texas. Tell us all about it.
Yes, sir. Kalashbash will be October 8th and 9th, rapidly approaching. Century will be there. They've sponsored everything we've ever done. I couldn't be more thankful to those guys. They sponsor a ton of events. They give a ton of guns away. I remember a statistic they told us back when we went to Red October in 2016, 90% of the AKs in this country have Century roll marked on the side. They brought in a ton of guns, a lot of AKs, a lot of other surplus stuff. So big shout out to Century. But yeah, come on out to KB if you want to do gun stuff.
Still got tickets available?
Very few.
Very few.
They'll probably be gone in about a week. So if you want to go, get on it.
Well, make sure you save me a spot. What about third pin threads?
Oh, yes, we are. Oh, I shouldn't say. I'll say it here. It's the first time I've said it. We're launching 8 new shirts on the website this weekend. We've been working on these designs for a long time. We have some of our new hats. Got the little Draco hat.
Sweet.
Century product. But the shirts we worked really hard on, they're all launching this weekend. And thank you for having me on, guys. It's been so cool. Brian, James, Marco.
It was great meeting you.
Great talking to you guys for the first time. And
absolutely.
Hopefully we'll do it again. Thank you so much for having me.
No, we will definitely have you back when we do AK specific stuff, because you're a wealth of knowledge, and I know our listeners love having you on too. So thanks for being on, Brian. What's going on with Occam?
Yeah, it's been great having Klay on real quick. His knowledge far exceeds mine on more standard and classic forms of the AK. So really been a joy to hear. He'll call out little stuff. Well, Marco, of course, Zen Master level.
Between the two of them,
somebody
we don't miss
younger than me, and he knows a lot more, and that's super cool. So
yeah,
appreciate having you on, sir. Let's see. We are about to ship our PH2 iron sights that have 3 diopters plus a battle notch. The big improvement over the PH1 is that we're making it, and we had some other people were making them for us before. We're making them in-house. They're 100% made in the USA, right? Every last little pin and screw. And the other big improvement in my mind is that they now take AR-15 front posts. So if you have a favorite post, narrower or different, or tritium, whatever, those are up there. And in truth, that photo is of the PH1s, but the PH2s, if you go to parts and accessories, and then sights and optics, all the parts, all the metal stuff on there, the exception of sheet metal. Yep, there you go, PH2. So it's got that little clicky, rotatey thing, something we changed this. Yeah, so that's not an AR-15 front post in the photo, but it will be when you get yours. And the over on the left there, it's got 3 diopters plus a battle notch. So if you like that AK feel with a big open notch, it's actually bigger than the stock notch, then you'll really dig these. They go nice on the Galil Ace 2.0. They go on Scorpions, and they go on our stuff. So really excited to finally have that shipping.
You still got the wood?
We still got wood. Yeah, we've got some wood stock panels and rail panels. We've got an enhanced mag catch. Oh, and Klay and Marco, I got to send you guys some. James has to pay for his, but I'd love to send you guys some. It's a billet mag catch that is really radiused, and it has we call it the fat bottom.
Is it on here?
Yeah, go to parts. Boom, there it is. It also comes with a spring compressor that's kind of a single-use item, but it works, and a pin and a new spring. So those folks who are watching on video, Klay and Marco, you'll see how it's kind of rounded a little bit. It's like it has the same idea as a big honkin' extended one, except it's sort of a reasonable man's one. It's just a little bit like the side lobe on a Galil or a Valmet, but on both sides. So it's just a little more. Oh, there it is. It's nice on your finger if you dry practice a lot. That big radius will keep you from. Yeah, there we go. Your finger, if you do a lot of dry practice on a standard catch, will get sore, and we do our best to smooth those out, but it's sheet metal. There's only so much metal there. So the fat bottom aims to fix that and make your thumb happier.
Very nice.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Within the reason. Instead of that big old mushroomy looking thing. That's awesome, Brian.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I can't wait for you to try one. We got an install tool too that's dropping next couple of weeks that makes swaging that axis really easy, like no-brainer easy. And that's traditionally been really hard to get a good swage on. Everyone hates messing with that axis if they have to. This new tool we've got just makes it clean. So I'm excited to roll out more products where guys can start with a little baby project and work on their AK and get a little more comfortable, because a lot of my customers just have not had a lot of hand tool experience and working with metal. So really excited to start moving in that direction and helping people to learn for themselves how to be good armors.
Very nice. Marco, what you got going on?
Well, I'm working on my 3rd book kind of lazily. So hopefully it'll come out sometime within a year or two. This time I'm dedicating it to sniper rifles and development of sniper rifle as we know it today.
Sweet.
And we also, on the September 29th, it's going to be our 5th annual training exercise for Southeastern Michigan Army ROTC. So we started this thing 5 years ago with the kids who sometimes, they at the University of Michigan, Eastern Michigan University, and the Wayne State on ROTC program, and then it turns out they don't. I mean, other than the rubber ducks in the summer, and then 2 weeks in the camp with the rubber ducks, the resin copies of firearms, they really don't have any experience in the real military standard and non-standard weapons. So we're doing it for free, 100% free. We provide ammo,
sweet.
we provide all the guns, all the machine guns, and it's
Very cool.
anything from M9 pistol to M17, and then on to my Deuce, which is a Humvee mounted, M60, M240, M249, and of course all the complement of com block weapons,
Right.
anything from KR9 or Vitis 9mm gun to a PKM, as well as various sniper rifles.
Are you doing private training still?
I'm still doing the private training, and but those now rare, just because of some other activities that I'm involved in, and but that's basically it. And we thinking this year is going to be a kind of like slightly publicized event, because we have to clear everything with the Army,
Right.
but we gonna kind of make a mimic of that event, and trying to get the media types.
Send me some info on it.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
definitely.
So
Send me some info.
probably sometime in March we'll have another event.
What
that
part
is
of Michigan is that?
open to- It's going to be, actually, we're holding it at the Sandusky County Sportsman's Club, just the east of Toledo,
Okay.
Ohio.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's kind of in the crossroads of America, so to speak. You got all the major highways, 75, 94, 90, 80,
Sure.
69, whatever. Two major airports, Detroit and Toledo. Bunch of hotels, bunch of restaurants all around. So we're going to try to make it maybe a 2-day, maybe 3-day event for media.
Nice. Well, send me some info on that. I'll try to make it up there if I can, definitely. And
Okay.
and your books, they can get your books on Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, just put in search, put Marco Vorobiev in search, and the whole bunch of 2 books will come out.
Well, you're working on that third, though, so
Yeah.
you need to get that third done.
Well, and for those of us not seeing the video, I've been holding up Marco's book, AK-47, Survival and Evolution of the World's Most Prolific Gun. I bought it after the last episode that we taped, and he has a gorgeous depiction of the history of the AK and some of the American efforts, and just all kinds of good info from a native Russian speaker who was there. And it's very well done. Highly recommended read. Not a lot of money. Hop on Amazon and just hit that buy button. You'll enjoy yourself. You'll learn.
you go.
You'll know more.
And
Thank you,
James,
Brian. Thank you.
James, Faktory-47.
Yeah, I mean, you and I talked about it this weekend. We're going to work on some stuff together, probably make an announcement next time I'm on the show. So stay tuned for that. As far as personal stuff this year, after this weekend, I kind of talked to some people. I'm going to do a couple classes. So if anyone wants to come train with me, I'll probably bring some shirts and swag and stuff as well. I'm looking at Thunder Ranch class around SHOT Show, Sunny class down around April sometime, and then I'm gonna commit right now. I'm going back to Camden probably 3 times next year to take some classes. So if people want to come out to tactical response, and if you've trained before and you want to just get back into it, this would be a great year to do it, because now is an important time, I feel like, and for many reasons. And then also, if you've been training and you've been to tactical response before, it's a great time to go back, and we can train together and meet up, have a good time, and do all the things. So
There you
that's
go.
my year.
Do all the things. And
So
go to
I
the
just wanted to
website.
take it back to tactical response here for the send off. Sorry.
No, that's fine. And Faktory-47, you go to their website, you use the code LEADHEAD, you're going to get 10% off any of the stuff there. And he's got hats and hoodies and T-shirts and tumblers.
So can you go to the collections there and then go down to the Wolverines collection real quick?
Oh yeah, my favorite collection.
So for those watching, we put out the Calumet High Wolverines Class of '84 play on the Red Dawn, right? The high school. And I've actually surprisingly got some hits lately where people are mad that it's not in black, but the school colors were the blue, yellow, and white. So big announcement, breaking news, I'm going to release it in black.
Nice.
And then we'll put the hoodie. What's that?
I was kind of rooting for like a navy, dark blue.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan, right? So the Wolverines here.
Boo.
That's a good one. Okay,
Boo.
we'll have to work on that.
Are you going to do the hoodie in blue?
I'd like to. I need to. That's gonna be a little trickier, but I'm gonna work on that. And then I am gonna put the hoodie out in black, though. I don't have. There's no hoodie right now, so we gotta work on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but,
if you do a hoodie in blue, I'll definitely will get one.
Yeah, we gotta get going on that.
That would be
Yeah,
badass.
James, I'm gonna have to give you kudos on this one. Just kind of like a throwback, vintage feel to it. And kind of incorporate that the whole high school feel and Wolverines, and I mean, it just I'm like I said, I'm an old soul, and I like the vintage stuff. So this is great, and the color scheme is just perfect.
All right, guys, that does it for another episode of the Talking Lead AK Corner. Tune in each and every month for all the AK news and leducation here on Talking Lead, brought to you by Century Arms. Go show all our sponsors some love and use those discount codes. Take advantage of them. So until the next episode, lead heads, get out there, shoot, and bring a new person into the firearms industry.